Moments ago, this ship received word of a Cylon attack against our home worlds is underway. We do not know the size or the disposition or the strength of the enemy forces. How, why, doesn't really matter now. What does matter is that as of this moment, we are at war.
So, Danny,
I got a couple. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have some. Well, this is something that's kind of important. So, you know, there's. I know we kid around a lot and we joke around a lot, but sometimes we offend people on the show, and we want to be careful about that. And there's someone that unfortunately you did offend on the show recently, and this person wanted to express how he felt about it. So I did want to give this person a chance to speak their mind.
Is this for real, dude? You didn't give me any warning.
So, well, I know this can, but just hold on, and it only takes a second.
Yeah, I hear Dork Knight calls me Sleepy Joe. Well, Dork Knight, let me tell you, I'm gonna drag your sorry ass back to Scranton and put you to sleep, motherfucker.
That was gold. Who'd you get to do that? That sounded so good. Or was that AI? Who'd you get?
That was the voice AI.
My voice through AI. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good. I want to clip that out. You just made my day. That was so funny. So I have a couple things I wanted to ask you. One, can you please put back the I missed the the salt,
Yeah. But you see,
he smiles too much,
Yeah, but you see, I'm going to use that one for you now.
Oh, that's too long.
One is too long, and two, I really.
Maybe I'll just say, I'm going to drag that Dork Knight fella back.
Well, I like I've always loved. I know you say you don't like the clip, but I've always loved that clip because it's basically Scarlett Johansson saying like, I broke up with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's as if the core insults Jason.
Yeah.
And Kirk and Bones are kind of throwing shade at me. But
Yeah.
Scarlet is kind of throwing you a backhanded compliment. So no,
Right. Yeah.
we're not going there.
Yeah. So
The only reason
anyway.
that was because that was the only thing that I could find on the short notice that had Dork in it that worked.
No, for sure. And I really hope you do bring that back. But I had a couple.
Yeah.
I actually wrote these down. You call it a Nerdfights retrospective. This is my first watch. Aren't those two terms mutually exclusive? How can I have a retrospective on my first watch?
The show from 20 years ago.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah,
our big point
yeah,
of
I don't
this
know.
is that it's my first watch, and we're like,
Yeah.
Fine.
know.
What do you think of better? All right, audience.
Well,
what would
you
be
could
a
always say
better name for
retrospective.
the show be?
First watch. No.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do a poll the audience. That's
There
our
you go.
first
Yeah,
lifeline.
Yeah. All right. We'll do
Well,
that.
ask the audience.
And then I really want to. Jason just sent me your logo, but unfortunately, it's a flat JPEG. Can't really.
That's all I
vectorize it.
got, man. That's
Well, whoever the artist was, I'm sure if you ask him nicely,
Oh,
just
that's,
tell him.
that's what he
yeah,
sent me.
Yitza.
That's the same file he sent me.
Oh, it's a JPEG, man. I can't. I have to redraw it basically.
Oh, you
Well, 'cause
can't.
I wanna-
you can't. You.
I want to get a hat because you always give me grief. So I wanted. to
Yeah,
get
but
a-
you
a-
can't.
know.
Oh, you can't extract that, or.
He
I mean,
can't.
not
He's
really.
well, he's-
No, I gotta. It's got to be vector, and you sent me
Oh, okay.
a
Okay.
72
I gotcha.
DPI web thing. Like, if I
yeah, but
wanna
it's
try
not
to-
like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't have. Dude, you're an artiste. You've been doing this stuff for years. It's not
Oh,
like
I'm just being lazy, man. I know.
exactly. Well, stop being so dang lazy, and it'll take you a couple of hours tops.
Oh wow! So in the chat,
Yeah.
Twinkle teaches. You haven't seen this show? What the hell are you doing here? We're about to spoil the hell out of it. This is my first watch as well. But yeah, if you haven't, if you
Yeah,
care
Twinkle
about
teaches-
spoilers of a
well,
25,
first of all,
30-year-old show, leave, watch the show, come back. This video will still be here.
Yeah.
I will say this: even if you have this show spoiled, it's still worth watching. Which I think Danny can attest to. Now that
It's
like,
so
good. Even if I told you the plot of 33 is worth watching, right?
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. And so now you've seen Bastille Day was the last episode we watched.
Yeah.
If I told you what happened in Bastille Day, it's still worth watching.
Dude,
And-
it was, I kind of
and every
talked
episode,
about,
like-
yeah, we talked about this a little yesterday, but a lot of people like Kadish and other people who've reviewed it said that 33 is like the best episode. I don't know, man. It's kind of reminded me of how I felt about Picard season 3. Every episode I watch with you guys is my favorite episode so far.
It just
You know what
seems
I
to
mean?
stack, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's.
Yeah.
I'm really, really enjoying this. So thank
Yeah.
you. So
And that's
much
why
for
I
this.
have such a hard time picking an absolute favorite because
I can't with this show.
it's just. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I can't pick a favorite episode because to me the series is like one 60-hour long episode. That's what it feels like to me.
And this was back before that was a thing, right?
Right.
Like this was
before it was
like-
nearly this big. Yeah, like there were a
Yeah.
couple of there was the
I mean,
only
Deep Space Nine
No,
kind of did it.
Derek is the original Apollo, not the original Starbuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
The closest we ever got to anything that was really tightly coupled to an overarching storyline would have probably been Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, I can't really. I've not watched any Stargate.
And even that had a decent number of bottle episodes, although they were good at reconnecting bottle episodes, the writers. But
Right.
but yeah, this is the first time in science fiction on regular broadcast television that they threw down hard on full serialized. And man,
and
it's just
and that's why I think. Again, I've only seen two episodes now or three of the
three
series. I've
plus the
seen whole-
miniseries.
Yeah.
So you've seen
Miniseries
like
counts as 4 episodes.
Yeah. So I saw 33 Water and Bastille Day. Yeah, they're all.
Yeah.
They're just.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing all 4 seasons is basically like a long movie, right? Like this.
Right. You could
Yeah.
you could literally if you didn't need to eat, sleep, or go to the bathroom, you could sit down and watch the entirety of Battlestar Galactica, and it would be like watching one continuous movie.
Yeah, like if you made a supercut that deleted all the previously ons and all the intro sections,
Yeah.
it would just be.
There's not a whole lot you could cut out.
So what
No.
is Martin Devon? I don't know if I know you, but what are you trying to say? I'm ugly or something? I need to.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's right.
No.
Wow! Wow!
Wow.
Wow!
That's just mean.
Well, that's okay. You're allowed. I'll allow it when you're being mean to Danny.
You have to find a way to say sorry like a Canadian in chat, and then you're okay.
Well, since Danny's so mean to the current president of the United States, although he.
Look, I'm not mean to Sleepy Joe. It's just he's a sleepy
See, you did it again, dude.
You opened the door, man.
You
So
really.
I'm using.
Yeah, I hear Dork Knight calls me Sleepy Joe. Well, Dork Knight, let me tell you, I'm gonna drag your sorry ass back to Scranton and put you to sleep, motherfucker.
I need you.
So,
to
so
send me
you
that.
know,
I need that.
I was just thinking something too. Is some of the longer, if you do any re-edits on some of the longer first watches with Danny, when things go off the rails, you're gonna have to take that technical difficulty thing and just kind of slap it in for a second.
Yeah, man. No, that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Hey,
man,
look,
I mean,
I know. Like, I guess only the Patreons will know kind of what he's talking about.
How
But
far off the rails it goes.
but
Really,
it's I have so much fun watching this shit with you guys, and I'm glad we have the setup where like I can pause it or you can pause it and we can just kind of talk, so we're not talking over it like Mystery Science Theater 3000. We're having I really can't thank you guys enough. Like this is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying.
oh no,
this.
I've enjoyed getting this all figured out and setting it all up. This is like Mike knows me well enough. He knows that this is like dessert for me.
well, no,
All right,
absolutely.
so
and
I saw
but I also I do want to say
that you
this.
dropped.
So we have just so you know, there's been two just in the last few days. We've had two people, Roel, I think it is, and Uchilla. I'm probably butchering that name. Who have joined the Patreon just since we started doing this, probably because they've enjoyed watching you guys. So
So if they leave any comments, because I can't afford.
they probably
to
have
pay
different
your
names on
Patreon.
YouTube. So
Well, no, what I'm saying is I can't like do us a solid, man. And if people because you can comment in Patreon, right, on your if they. Right or no? I don't know. I don't.
they can, they can leave comments.
So
on
if they
Patreon.
ever leave any comments, you should let us know because we'll have no way of knowing unless you tell us, so we can get them answered. Because you do
just tell them that you don't
engagement.
care, because you don't care enough to.
If you
support
tell
me.
people that you don't care, they cancel. If you it's called engagement.
I care. You don't care.
I care.
No,
I
you
care
said
about
want
you.
to
If
make
you
sure.
cared, you give up $5 a month, and
It's
be on
not that.
Patreon.
No, it's the same problem I have with Salty Nerd because I used to be saltynerdclub.com. You can sign up for their Patreon.
Hey!
and I
What
tried.
are you doing, pimping? It's bad enough you're wearing their hat
Did I?
again.
I'm sorry. I just go into promo mode. It's like a default
Yeah, I
switch. I don't
know.
even know I do it. I'm sorry.
It's because your day job is basically built around that.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So
sound like freaking Paul Harvey. Do you remember him?
Oh, I
man.
love Paul Harvey.
Yeah, Paul Harvey would just flow into. You're just like a modern Paul Harvey, where it's like, you're like, you remind me of how much I really love Rex brand Vitapills. It's
Vegemita vitamin or whatever. Or what is it? The I Love Lucy bit. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, the making sure that everybody knows that you're actually paying attention to them,
Yeah,
at least
it's
in a
important.
No,
reasonable. Yeah.
And
so,
I know we do like we'll go I'll hit pause and like 45 minutes later it's like oh I guess we should probably get back to it because we just kind of like have so much fun talking. Sometimes it's related to the thing. Sometimes it's so loosely related, we forgot how we got, from point A to Z. But if you guys find it entertaining at all, check out the Patreon and let us know, because this is I don't even get to see it. And it's weird, and I'll forget a lot of times he's recording it. And these are long, right? Like, how long? These are like, what, 3 hours long?
Well, typically, the regular episode's been about an hour and a half for our recording. So the regular episode's only about 40 minutes.
So two of those is about 3 hours, and we usually try to do two, right? Like,
yeah,
because
that's
I feel like they're 3 hours. Am I wrong?
The
miniseries
miniseries was a beast. Yeah, because it was an hour and a half, and I think the first half, I think the recording was over 3 hours.
Yeah, and that one was that. But then we have all the technical problems in the middle of it, which was great. Like there's one.
I don't get that. Like, we still had technical difficulties. I know,
like 7 hours of recording later, and then it's like, we're still finding ways to have hiccups. Although I do have something in place on my system today that if it works well throughout the whole show tonight, and you guys don't hear any Cyloning or roboting, then I'm gonna send it to the both of you guys to give it a try. So
see if we can help.
It's real easy. It's really easy to set up.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever it is that this issue that's not only isolated to StreamYard seems to be agitated way more with StreamYard than anything else.
So to answer Stan Lee, so he's saying wasn't Babylon 5 before Battlestar Galactica? Yes. Babylon 5 was an earlier attempt at a serialized story. That being said, I'm sorry. I know there's a sorry as Jason might put it, but I know there's a lot of Babylon 5 fanatics out there, and I did enjoy Babylon 5, but Galactica is just a better show.
Hold on. Whoa. I mean, I've only seen 3 episodes, but I'm a huge Babylon 5 fan.
I think by the end of this, you will agree with me on that statement. I mean, granted, I know you. Well, it's okay. Assuming this, Danny, for a second, let's just suppose hypothetically that Galactica doesn't get significantly worse than what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, but but come on, it just Garibaldi. Yeah, like, I don't know. There's like there's some I haven't seen any comic relief yet. This is a very serious show. And
that's true. That's true. Like, the tonality is just a little bit different.
Well, it's a totally different tone. You're not going to see a lot of comic relief.
I think, right. So I can like them both. I don't think they're. I think they're apples and oranges, really.
They are in a few sense. Like, for example, Galactica's. Okay, there's a few things Galactica wins hands down on. Galactica has better visual effects. I don't think you can argue that in any way, shape, or form. And it's not, they're both entirely CG.
And that's just a timing. That's just a timing problem.
Ironically, they use the same system. It's just that Galactica uses a couple of generations later of the same system.
The problem Babylon 5 had is it really cartoony looking CGI. It's like, I will say that.
Yeah,
that was like first or second gen video toaster.
It was first gen video toaster, and Galactica was using Lightwave 8. I want to say, because it's the same version of Lightwave.
Stanley makes a good point as a graphic designer. I know, when there's no texture applied, it does look more fake.
The lack of bump mapping and everything.
The bump mapping didn't even exist when for that show.
But I really
everything looks like it's made out of plastic, and
I really did like Babylon 5, and I actually find this little trivia tidbit, but for those who don't know, but most of you should probably, is that the show's finale was shot before the show's final season, because they didn't know they were going to get another season, and Straczynski always wanted the show to end the same way, and that's why that chick who's not in the last season is in the last episode. Did you guys didn't know that?
I did not know that.
No, I didn't know that. I've only made it through most of season 1, and I don't mind the spoilers for it, because I'll just slow watch through.
And Thomas does point out that the original BSG is older than Babylon 5, which is true. So Babylon 5 both predates and doesn't predate.
Yeah,
Again, I haven't watched.
it's the triple timeline problem.
Yeah. See,
right?
Thomas, there is a triple timeline. Now, if what you want is lighthearted, then or you want something with comic relief, then absolutely Babylon 5 is the only way to go, because you're not going to find a whole lot of comedy in Battlestar Galactica. There are comedic moments, like there's an episode.
I would say there are unintentional funny moments. Again, I've only seen the miniseries in 3 episodes, but I mean, when she buries his face in her punani just to save his life, that's hilarious. But it's not supposed to be.
Making a joke out of something that I don't think was really.
No. Come on, it looked pretty intentional to me. I mean, she literally like shoved his head.
Here's the thing, though, that I think you're going to. There's an episode coming that it's called, and you remember what the name of the Exo of Galactica is?
It starts with a T.
Yeah.
Ty.
Ty.
Wait, not helping him. Jeez. Yeah, Colonel Ty.
Is it just Ty?
Yeah, it's Colonel Ty. And so
why am I having a hard time remembering Ty? That should be easy for me. I'm sorry.
I don't know. But anyway, so the
Adama's the main guy.
Yeah,
he's the
Ty is the
commander,
XO.
Ty is the XO. The president's name is
Laura Roslin.
President Roslin. Okay, I'll get him, man. I'm only 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's all right. But anyway, so there's an episode coming that's called "Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down."
And is it spelled like Ty's name?
It's spelled like Ty's name. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that episode actually does have comedy in it.
Okay.
Oh, and it's a hot mess of an episode. You're going to love it. It's crazy.
Well, speaking of a hot mess, we clearly are. We're 30 minutes in, and we haven't even started reviewing.
Yeah, but, that's the beauty of it, is that we don't have to go frame by frame anymore, because
you're right. Yeah.
If people really want the frame by frame, they can watch the Patreon stuff.
The Patreon, yeah.
But we can just kind of talk about the episode.
You kind of you trolled me the other day. I got hit up by 2 different people because of that thumbnail on the video you released either yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Oh, what? Because
well, first of all, I wasn't crying in that picture, but your caption, it was like man tears, and I'm like, wait a minute, that was me like, whoa, it was like totally different. Emotion.
Well, you didn't have one of you crying. You didn't send me.
No, because
I don't need to hear from my friends. Man, are you like Kevin Smith? Are you always crying? Like at first, I thought it was a joke. Is this real? Are you okay? Do you need some help? I'm like,
well, you did cry.
Yeah, but he hit it.
I cut the camera off. I cut my feet off.
That doesn't change the fact that you cried. And by the way, Danny, so speaking of you crying. I have an idea that's going to make you cry, and that is another series that you started to watch but you didn't finish, that we could do. A little show called Kenobi.
Oh Jesus, man!
Because
no,
I'm not. No. There's nothing you could do that'll make me finish. Like everything.
Wait. Let me finish. See, you said that, and challenge accepted, my friend. So you can see here. This is on Plex. And this is on my Plex server. You can see the 6 episodes of Kenobi, followed by the Kenobi Supercut. And look what's right after that, the Kenobi Salty Cut coming soon. And so the Kenobi,
that I might watch just because you're putting your hard work into it.
But in order to watch the Salty Cut, you're going to have to watch the series to see what was cut out.
I'm not watching. No, I watched.
He'll be good enough to watch what you build.
I think it's on your channel, or it's either your channel or the Salty Nerd channel. I dipped out after episode 3. I think 3.
Yeah, it was 3.
Yeah.
Was when you just were like,
I was like, I'm done. I'm like, I'm not watching this anymore. And I'm glad, because the only people I know who watch the whole thing, well, it's 2 kinds of people. Idiots like you who love it. I mean, people like you who love it. And then people like Kadish who have much better sense, who, wish they never watched it, because He's just like
Oh,
so
you
many
mean
things
people
don't
like
make sense.
Kadish who ended up on the Major Grin video now because
Daddy, oh, dude, did you see that? Did you guys see that?
Oh, look,
my God.
he
I'm
roasted
wrong-
the both of them.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
wrong. I'm wrong
I just
too.
love that Kadish actually sitting there talking to Metalis like, "Oh, I'm so glad we don't have the porg."
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
No, that's why Kadish. So he did a 180. That's why by the end of Picard season 3, he hates it. You know, but you could see how happy he was talking to Terry Metalis about, how, oh man, I just love that you used the changelings, and thank God I was so sick of the Borg. And I'm like, oh wow, oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, if only Major Grin had then taken some clips of Kadish from when he was on our show.
Oh, when he was just going. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is one thing that still blows my mind is how big of a bear trap of a memory that the nitpicking nerd, which is who
Major
Grin
Grin, yeah.
is,
Yeah.
how just his mind, because it's only been 2 weeks since the show's been done.
Yeah.
And he's been cranking out stuff on his Major Grin channel left and right, and he's digging up everything. And I mean, he went back into if you anybody who's seen the clip, he went all the way back in and pulled the Admiral recovering in the freaking sick bay on the Enterprise. So
So I always got that wrong too. I thought those parasites killed their host, so I was wrong too. It's the mother parasite was the only one that killed its host.
He's got an incredible memory. He's got. I mean that because I didn't remember that at all.
No. I was my brain was
I don't
questioning
feel I'm in good
it.
company because Kadish forgot too. He just took Terry Metalis' word for it, and I thought, it's like the Mandela effect. I thought that they did kill their host in Conspiracy.
Yeah,
it's called Conspiracy, right? Was the name of that episode?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's actually one of the few early TNG episodes worth watching. I'm
going to go back and watch that.
But the funny thing is that despite that fact, it's like we don't remember one of the details of that episode. You know, it's like but we could remember everything about the racism planet. You know,
yes,
yeah.
Code of Conduct, is that the episode?
Code of Honor.
Code of Honor. Code of Honor.
And the Naked Now and all the crap from that, and
or the Wesley crushes the Posey, so now he must die.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Such a what was that? That was like was that on Risa? That was on Risa, right?
No, that was some weird planet they were going to.
Yeah, remember that
it wasn't the pleasure. It wasn't a
It's the planet where everybody screws and they're protected by a god.
That's right, isn't it?
A starship.
No.
It's the pleasure planet. Is it different?
No.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering what does God need with a starship, there's your answer because he lives in a starship in that episode.
All right.
But
so.
Yeah.
Do we even want to attempt to talk about the second part of the miniseries?
I'm working on it. I'm going there
he's
now.
bringing it.
I'm just digging up the miniseries.
Well, okay. Why you do that? I think we lost a couple people. I was trying.
Well, that's your fault.
Probably,
no, we're up to 21 right now. We got 19 on Salty and 3 on Dork Knight.
Oh, cool. Well, hey guys, please hit the thumbs up, and if you don't already subscribe to my channel, help me out. I think I only have like 120 subscribers or something like that. So, well, if you like this kind of banter, you can find it over there. Plus a lot of wrestling stuff. I'm gonna get a refill on my soda real quick. Is that okay? And I'll be right back.
Of course.
Thank you.
As soon as I get it ready, he leaves.
The perfect timing.
Yeah. I still like the Kill Wesley episode, says Stan Lee. Of course you do. You just like that. You just like that they want to kill Wesley. It would have been better if they'd actually killed Wesley.
Oh,
they
didn't have the transporter can't resurrect people rule, so they could have just used that at that point.
I think it would have been better if they had just literally killed the Wesley, and Captain's log, Stardate 4732.9. unfortunately, they killed Wesley, so I'm going to go to bed with Dr. Crusher and see if we can make another one. I think we'll name this one Jack. You know?
The episode was called Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was.
And Martin,
it was such
Ty,
a weird
okay,
episode.
So to expedite things, I just brought the bottle over.
Tie with an eye patch is something that we can talk about later, but we don't want to talk about that in detail right now because that could get into
tie with an eye patch.
Yeah, it's a long story. There's an episode where he wears an eye patch.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers. Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
so
just
that's
people
why
have
I'm telling
dropped-
Martin
yeah,
you don't
Stan
want to get
Lee-
into that. Yeah.
Or Martin accidentally put a comment in.
Yeah. So
Well,
we want to be careful
if you want me to
about that
interact
kind
with
of
the
thing.
chat. Yeah, don't put spoilers in the chat, please. And if a mod could do me a favor and just hide the spoiler, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not going to.
Yeah, Ty with an eye patch. Arr! He's just so drunk that he can't even do that. He'd be more like Captain Jack Sparrow, you know, except old and bald.
Be like the angriest Jack Sparrow.
You know what's
ever.
funny is the grass is always greener. So you know how CC doesn't let me shave my head, and I want to shave my head. And I've got
Yeah,
friends.
but you would look like this guy.
And hey, man, I wish I have friends who they've been bald for 20 years, and they're always like, "Man, you got such great hair." And I'm like, "Man, you've got such a nice head that looks comfortable." And I live in the desert. I like the sweat. I don't know, man. I wish
Move out of the desert.
we're working on it. We're working on it.
Exactly. So once you move out of the desert, then shut up.
Or why can't I go bald? That's not fair. I want to go bald.
Well, I go really short, but I don't. I've never gone straight to bald because when I
was
had
looking
that
at my
accident
memories.
and I went down to 2 mil the other couple weeks ago, that was pretty cool feeling.
Yeah.
Way too cool for up here.
And hey, Brian McFarland is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you
Brian.
are well.
Welcome. Looks like General Chang. I guess if he had an eye patch, he would. Yeah.
I don't think Colonel Ty looks like General Chang, to be honest. But
Not quite. He certainly doesn't sound like him.
What?
Yeah.
That'd be great if Paul Hogan, that's this guy, if he played General Chang.
Yeah, and then it's like a weird hybrid character, and you've got blood wine everywhere.
I see you, Kirk. You see me. Where is it? I can't drink salt water. What's going on?
Weren't we talking about that yesterday? Desalinization? Like, why isn't that a thing? I mean, they're doing it in California. They can't do it in the future in this show.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so we start out obviously right where the other one leaves off. That they believe the Colonial One just blew up.
He thinks his kid is dead, and I do too at this point in time. And so they just nonchalantly cut to the ship here in like a minute or so.
Right, and pretty much everybody thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
And it's not looking good for everybody. Everybody's kind of tripping on the fact.
Hey, can you put us to maybe like on the side? Can we stay as big as we are on one of the sides?
Well, we're smaller if we're on this. I mean,
we're
I
smaller.
can. You gotta make me work.
No. You can put us back. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's not, it's
You
fine.
can. Let's see. Can I do that?
Embiggen.
Just making me work for. I don't like working. I'm lazy.
That's a good question. How did Wesley get away from the death sentence on the butt-running planet in Justice anyway? I don't know. I don't remember.
I forget.
Yeah.
How did he get away at the end of that one? I think Picard offered him the rest of the kids from the ship or something. I don't remember.
Definitely wasn't that.
Yeah, but I think Picard would have.
Yeah. Daniel,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say your last name. You got a good first name. We don't know. But it definitely was not what Salty just said. I promise you that.
What, you don't like my idea? Yeah, I think it didn't end up being Beverly whining. I think that was it. There is no justice as long as laws are absolute. Well, that depends on how you look at it, because I mean, some laws need,
this far, no far.
some laws need to be absolute, Stanley. I mean, like for example, murder.
Well, I think
should
Stanley was.
absolutely be
I think he
illegal.
was quoting Picard. I'm pretty sure he was quoting
yeah,
Picard. Is what
probably.
that was.
Yeah, but Picard is wrong. I'm saying Picard is wrong. Maybe it's because Picard is a Sith. Only Sith.
Yeah, I was about to
Well,
say,
hey,
are we going to?
we forgot to do our hot takes, but Salty just.
Oh yeah,
gave us
okay.
his
Let's
hot
do our hot take. So I'm sorry. Let's do that. Bam. Oh, I guess you're first.
Oh, look at that! Surprise!
We are so organized today. It's awesome.
Oh, it's all good. We're having
Yeah.
fun. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So yeah, I mean, for the second half, because I watched them back to back, it was I didn't have that stuck waiting to see what was going to happen. I rolled right into knowing that, of course, Leodama, Apollo had pulled that fancy trick with those spare parts that were on board the ship, and
I appreciated Salty pointing out the prep for that. In the
when we watched it when we did this
Yeah.
show last week.
yeah.
sorry.
It wasn't just that he ran downstairs and hit the magic MacGuffin button and then that was it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he had already been looking at it, going like, So for me, I mean, second half hot take, it's just more good Battlestar Galactica, and it just kept on going from there for me. So like, actually, you know what it was? It was by the end of it. Here's a good one for me. By the end of part 2, all of my expectations were subverted in all the best ways, because I was a malcontent going into watching it originally, because I didn't want to watch it because I was such a Starbuck purist, and the show completely
I remember you talking about
fixed
that.
me.
So
yeah.
it neutered you, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. How about you? So this was your first time. So how did you feel after part 2?
So you got to help my memory. It kind of bleeding together. Part 2 was the one where that had Starbucks.
Part 2 starts with the destruction.
Right. No.
Yeah, that's the one in the in the later part of the second half where she does the crazy.
She pushes his ship into the thing, right?
Right. She pushes his ship into the landing bay.
So
and they
my hot
basically
take. Okay, I
make
just
the
wanted
jump
to
away at the end.
Yeah. Holy hell! No, this was great. I loved it. My hot take is Starbuck is a badass. You know what I mean? Like I hadn't seen anything like that in like a science fiction show before. Have you guys? Like where like the
I mean, definitely a different. The Starbuck maneuver there was pretty.
Yeah, the Starbuck maneuver where like he's like, "Leave me, I'm dead." No, I got you, and like I'm gonna like basically wedge my ship into yours and push you into this ship, and then we're gonna instantly go to warp or whatever. It was. I liked it a lot. I mean, if you can't tell, this had me. I'm glad we did watch it. I didn't have to wait like in real time, because all the theories I was doing about, I think I even said it in one of our, I can't remember if it was the live stream or the review or the.
I don't think Danny needs to imagine that, Stan. That's just not.
Why would you even show that? Because now I'm gonna.
Now you've just derailed all of the Danny.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to leave that there for the rest of the life.
I don't know. She doesn't really do it. She looks like a little boy. Doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah, she's like 22 in that season. So
well, not just that, but she's got like the '90s bowl cut,
the bob cut, and everything. Yeah,
or whatever.
Fortunately, she does grow her hair out later in the season. So,
I don't care. Anyway, I'm just being. So no, my hot take is, again, first time watcher, so I didn't know about all the controversy. Is that how you say it in Canada? Controversy or something?
No, that would be in England.
Oh, that's England. My bad.
Controversy.
But they do say aluminium, I think.
Aluminium.
No.
So really enjoyed it, and it set a lot of stuff up because, like, in the beginning, I thought Lee was dead. Obviously, he wasn't, because I kind of thought they were going to use that as like some motivational thing. And then, was it in the miniseries or 33 where they hugged?
No, it's in the miniseries.
It was in this
miniseries.
part. That I really liked.
That's when you cried.
You know, yeah.
That's when you cried and had to
Allegedly.
shut off your
That's
camera.
allegedly when I cried. Allegedly.
Yeah, you just admitted it. So
No one saw me. Can't prove it.
It's fake news. It's fake news.
No, I loved the miniseries, and I tell you what, man, I'm glad, and I've been enjoying the show so far. The 3 episodes I've seen of the show, but like this was my hot take was, hot damn, this was good. This is good sci-fi. Good sci-fi.
Yeah.
What's
And
this?
so,
With all the AI talk in the news, the new Battlestar Galactica was ahead of its time with AI networking all of the military ships. Isn't that what they did in Picard season 3? Is that like?
Yeah.
yeah, but that's like 20 years later.
I know it's kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, so Twinkle Teaches is still here, but keeping an eye on the tornado issue. What? I don't know. I'm assuming you're somewhere in the south then. if you're
Oklahoma.
doing
Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Oh goodness.
Oklahoma, where the wind comes blowing down the house.
plains. What? Oh, or that.
Right.
Okay.
You know,
Did I derail you now? Oh no, it's your hot take. Now it's your hot
you just
take.
made me think about, since Twinkle Teaches is in Twinkle Toes. Yeah, Twinkle Teaches is in Oklahoma.
I call Kenny Omega Twinkle Toes because
You made me
it's
think of
Korean.
an old joke, a really bad joke that I heard, which is like, how is a storm in Oklahoma like a divorce in Alabama?
How?
No matter how it goes, someone's going to lose a trailer.
I'm stealing that. That's good. I like that. That was good. Oh my god, that was
So rough.
All right. All right. Hey, take me down. It's your turn. Your hot take, and then let's.
All right. So yeah. So I will say this: the best thing about the miniseries is the worst thing about the miniseries is that the miniseries to me is the worst episode of Galactica. And
What?
Yeah, but think about that on the scale, though.
yeah, that's that. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying this is
okay.
as bad as it gets.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Okay.
All right. Right on.
So that is my hot take here, is that this is literally the bottom of the barrel. And so to me,
Damn.
that's one heck of a benchmark. Because I mean, there are some things in this that I don't like. I don't particularly care for Starbuck in the miniseries, but her character gets vastly better.
Well, I didn't care for her in part 1, but like, I'm sorry, man. By the end of part 2, I thought she was a badass. Like.
Well, I think that they did some good things with her, but I think that you will definitely see what I'm talking about once we get through active criticism. The next episode. The next couple of episodes, Starbuck's character goes on a totally different trajectory. And you will see what I'm talking about with her character. She goes totally in a different direction than where you think she's going. And she's still a badass, don't get me wrong. But she's not the same badass that she is in the beginning.
So in the original series she's a
badass, like she's a badass in the miniseries in the original series.
Well, the guy who played Face was basically like a foil for Apollo. Yeah. Like he was basically the sidekick to Apollo through the entire one season of the show.
Apollo and Starbuck were the two
my
best
question
pilots.
Okay, that's what I'm. So my takeaway from the miniseries by the end of it is that Starbuck is like the best pilot, like the ace, hot shot, best pilot. Is that how Starbuck was portrayed when Starbuck was a man in the original series?
In the original series, Starbuck and Apollo were the best.
Thanks, Farnsworth, for stopping by.
Hey, Farnsworth. Good news, everyone. How are we going? Yeah, in the original series, Starbuck and Apollo were the best pilots. They were the best shots, and they were the best at everything. The only difference was Apollo was by the book, and Starbuck flew by the seat of his pants. However, they were both the best.
So
And
there wasn't a scene where Starbuck
there wasn't a clear one
had to save.
Sometimes
because
one
to me it
saved
was
the
like,
other, sometimes the other saved the one. So it went back and forth.
Right.
And so there was
okay.
It was like Starsky and Hutch, but with spaceships.
Yeah. And so but it wasn't.
So would you say that this
Starbuck was the fan favorite?
Would you say? Okay, but would you say this version of Starbuck is clearly like the better pilot, or is this goes on? Is it going to be more like what you're saying the original series was where they're back and forth and they're pretty equal?
That's
right now. My
they-
opinion is Starbuck is the better pilot.
Well, Starbuck and Apollo in this both go in completely different directions than they did in the original series, and so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It does not matter. And so, and that's why that's one thing I liked. Is that
and I guess the most important thing too is that the way they portray both of the two characters' fundamental singular strength is not some contrived, unbelievable explanation for everything.
Right.
Like it's not just like hand wave magic time.
So I need to address something from the chat. So the very first comment we had, Thomas Potts was trying to say we were 24 hours late. My mother keeps texting me, and I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I keep telling her, just put it in the chat. She's like, why didn't we have a show yesterday? Can you please answer this question?
Okay, so that was okay. So part of it was on me, and then part of it was on Danny. And so I actually said, hey guys, since Jason is going on vacation this weekend and we need to get some recording in for these next few episodes, let's do the same as we did last week and record on Wednesday and broadcast on Thursday so that we can get some more recording time in. And then, and you know, Danny was like, okay, sure. But, you know, we need to put something up on social media and stuff so that people know. And I'm like, yeah, great. We'll do that when we get together tonight. And then she's like, okay, cool. So then fast forward to tonight. And Danny was like, oh, hey, by the way, guys, can we meet early? Because
I know this was I did. Oh my God!
I'm gonna pick on you a little bit.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You earned this.
I'm sorry.
You
I know I did. It's just like
yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So Danny says, hey guys, can we meet early? So normally we meet at 5 p.m. my time. Now keep in mind, Danny is 2 hours earlier than me, and Jason is 2 hours later than me, which means 5 p.m. for me is 7 p.m. for Jason and 3 p.m. for Danny. So that's actually kind of a golden hour for the three of us because it's not too late for Jason. It's not too early for Danny. And so, but Danny's like, hey guys, can we meet a couple hours earlier because, you know, he's got some stuff going on and he'd really like to.
It was a hockey game. I mean, you can tell that.
And so I'm like, well, let's see if Jason can do it because he's got work. And Jason's like, okay, I think I can do it. And so we're like, okay, we'll push it earlier. And so
I feel it gets worse,
pushing,
folks.
Yeah. So Jason's like pushing to get off work early, and I'm like, tell the wife, okay, cancel the plans. I'm gonna, we're gonna record.
Oh God,
yeah. Okay. God. And so me and Jason are all ready to go, and we're like, where's Danny? And so we're like, and so then Danny's like, oh, sorry guys. Cece got off work early, so we decided to go to the store without telling us, by the way. Cece and I decided to go to the store. We'll be back in a little bit. I figured since we're just recording tonight, you wouldn't care. And of course, didn't tell us anything. And so we'll be home in like 20 minutes. We're like, okay.
No grocery store trip is 20 minutes.
Later. 2 hours later.
He's so like, sorry.
Oh, yeah, we'll be home in another 10 minutes. A half an hour after that, he gets home. And
you know what's actually the funniest part is the harbinger for me wasn't anything that anyone had any control on. And that was when whoever it was messaged me first, asked, And I think Danny, you messaged me, and I replied back, and I said I've got a call starting at 4.
Yeah,
my
but
time.
I'm not in control.
And
of
I
the
said,
call.
and I said it should, and I'm not going to control the call, but it shouldn't be any longer than X. And then the call started to go long, and I didn't end up getting off until almost 5:30.
Keep in mind, that's still an hour and a half.
No, I know it's still lots of time, but it was starting to squeak because I still wanted to eat before we got into some stuff, and then I was like, man, this isn't going to work. And then 6 o'clock happened, and that's when everything just started going funny. And then Danny had domicile adventures later on, and and then we had technical difficulties, and like we couldn't have asked for more.
So
foolish interruptions the whole way through
But
the night.
to bring it all full circle, I talked to earlier. My son is very happy.
Oh no, there's nothing like
when he
making
opens
sure
the-
you've got a bunch of food for your kid to see.
Yeah.
yes, but but Danny, do me a favor. Don't ever give a time estimate of 20 minutes if you got 2 hours to go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Look, and I know I did this to myself because I brought this up, but there you go, Mother. I hope you're happy.
Now you know why everything went
I laid
all
it on my
pear-shaped.
yeah.
Yeah.
I laid on my sword, or whatever the expression is.
You fell on your sword. Yeah.
Yeah, fell,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
By the way, look at Twinkle Teach's quote there from the weatherman. Some of the debris could be silverware. Don't get me wrong. I don't want the wind, but I'm low on spoons, y'all.
That's Oklahoma for you.
Yeah.
Well, and that also goes nicely with it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing.
Yes. Cows.
Yeah.
We have cows.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
So,
Did you hear they're making a sequel to that movie?
I did hear that. Yes.
Yeah.
Weird.
Crazy. Yeah.
So, yeah, two hours late, man. Two. I mean, come on. So he went from, hey, let's start 2 hours early to starting almost an hour late.
Yeah. And although I did stay over time, which was fine because CC.
Yeah, but you also
our
made
friend-
Jason panic and try because he thought he was running late.
Jason, I'm sorry, Jason. I'm sorry.
And then
I'll
you
do
realized
better.
it was like midnight for him before he could go to bed.
It wasn't midnight.
And then he had a crucial
It
job
wasn't.
intervio the next day.
Okay,
now
come on, man.
And
now you're
he's
making me
gonna
feel
end up
bad.
sweeping
Oh,
floors.
okay. Now that's just dirty. That's just dirty pool, man. You're just being mean.
I know. Okay, part of that statement was not true.
Some of it was true, and it was fine. But I don't get to find out anything until after my freaking vacation. So
Yeah,
I get to go have an anxious
that's gonna-
relaxation.
Yeah,
There is
well,
a
yeah, I was
chance
about to
that he's
say
gonna be
that.
sweeping floors.
3 weeks I got to sit and wait.
Yeah, but like that's a dude. I'm not to be a negative Nancy.
Yeah, it's
but,
a huge departmental shift of things because there's a bunch of people retiring and they're trying to expand
yeah,
all the
but
groups. So
like that's gonna like kind of ruin your vacation, isn't it? It's like-
no, not
it's
really.
like- okay,
Not really.
all right.
So, and
I'll be
yes,
fine.
Brian, I will fully admit that Danny was very prepared for the Picard reviews, but that doesn't excuse it.
Look, I'm sorry about yesterday. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Mom. I hope you're happy, Mother. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, look what you've done, Penny.
Yeah, now you see. First, he throws Cece under the bus for blaming her for his tardiness, and now he's
Well,
throwing
I
his
didn't know.
mom
I
under the
didn't
bus.
blame her. I didn't blame
Oh
her.
no,
at
no,
all.
no. She was scot free yesterday. Let's not make stories up. However,
I'm, look right here.
Penny's not saying hi to her son in your stream. So I'm telling her. I told her she needed to send cookies. So
You can send cookies to. I like these. I'm not supposed to eat them, but
That
I
better
can. I
not be
can.
like a cookie that you can't show on my stream.
well, there's the stay on target message of the night.
Yes, indeed. Joe Biden tipped $1. Thank you, Joe Biden. It says, I don't understand why Jason gets all the hate. He has
No,
good
whoa,
technology.
whoa. Shush, stop. Hold up. First of all, I'm going to say my line.
Oh, sorry.
Sleepy Joe.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No.
Hey, no, but it was coming from Joe.
Yeah, I hear Dork Knight calls me Sleepy Joe. Well, Dork Knight, let me tell you, I'm gonna drag your sorry ass back to Scranton and put you to sleep, motherfucker.
I need you to send me that. I want to
That
tweet
is
that.
so
You have
good.
no idea. I
Yeah.
want to tweet just that clip. I just want to
Yeah,
put that on
for sure.
please. Like, right. Oh my God, that is gold. I love it. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, he actually messaged me with it early, but I was out in the garage changing oil, and I saw the message come on, and I'm like, what did he send me? Because it just said video. I'm like, what has he been up to?
Yeah.
20 minutes later, I get back in the house, and I fire that up, and I just about fall out of my chair.
Oh my God, so good. So good.
Joe Biden says, I don't understand why Jason gets all the hate. He has good he is a good technology investor. He is also the greatest prime meridian that Canada has ever had. The greatest prime meridian that Canada.
That's
Minister?
a tragically.
I think he means-
That's a tragically. No, that's a tragically hip reference, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, the greatest prime. Well, I know what the prime meridian is, but I was like, wait, what? The greatest prime meridian that Canada has ever had. Thanks, my friend. I look forward to your support next week for my election. It's about time I'm president. Hail Bird.
Wow, that was the most disjointed thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah, well, that's Joe Biden for you.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, so
Those Canadians.
That's crazy.
So those wacky.
So my mother, you guys got to give me some permission so I can put that
What did
comment
I
up
do?
for my mother. Yeah. What do you mean? What did I do, mother?
What did I do?
You derailed this show. That's what you did. You asked your question. He answered it, and now everybody knows I'm an asshole. So
No, I think everybody knew that before that whole thing.
well, no, it's just what the kicker to that story is that I was like, hey, can we start 2 hours early? And I was 2 hours late. And I'm just like, I'm such a douchebag. I'm so sorry. And yes, Captain Fandom Nerd, Penny did pop me out her twat. What the fuck? What do you think mom means? Come on. Sorry. Or
Wow,
frack. What
dude.
the frack? What the frack?
Could you not
Stay on theme.
You actually say that in front of your mom. I can't believe you.
What that? I guess we got different styles of humor. I didn't think it's not like I wasn't vulgar. I just she popped me out her twat 44 years ago. I mean, like what's the big deal? Like, where did you come from? Do you really think the storks deliver babies?
Yes, they do. What are you talking about?
No, it's not that I think that.
No, it's Canada geese up here, man.
No, I don't think that storks deliver babies, but I don't think that pop you out of your.
Brian McFarland says we need to stay on target. Stay on
I
target.
I don't think that's an appropriate thing to say in front of your mom.
Mom, what do you think? I bet she chuckled. Be honest, Mom. You laughed, right? Come on. Anyway, let's get back to the review.
All right. So
I bet you
one thing I do want to point out at this shot. So this is some of the refugees inside of Boomer's Raptor after they took off from Caprica.
All right.
And
People want to keep derailing. Gorilla's random thoughts. That is not true. In fact, I did get soap in my mouth at a Kentucky Fried Chicken for accidentally saying the S word when I was like 6. And I'm still scarred to this day. And for those of you,
obviously, it didn't work very well.
don't know what this is. No, I rebelled in defiance. You guys, this is passion.
You're
you're getting some internets. You're getting some internet issues.
It lost you. Yeah, we're getting like 1 frame per 5 seconds now.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You're what?
Yeah,
you're back.
Better?
You're a little blurry, but you were blurry still a little bit, but your sound is good now.
Does it sound good to you?
My
I
internet
can't hear.
does not suck.
there he is.
It's because my son.
Your internet does suck.
No.
Hold up.
We did a speed test comparison. You were like bragging about, oh yeah, look, I got like 50 meg, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, let's take a look here. And you know, when I'm like slumming it with 800, and Jason's got like almost 2 gig, right?
3,000
or 3,000, yeah. So
Okay, really? Okay, all right.
So it's like, yeah, I've got 3 times dial-up speed.
No. Now that's dirty pool. That's not.
I know.
That's
It's
not
like
it.
5
Yeah.
times.
Don't you bring that evil on this call.
So I am doing a speed test right now, and wow, it is way slow. Like I'm getting faster upload than download. Something's wrong. So
well, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, you're well.
yeah.
That's what you get for using
guys want me to reboot,
cellular service for your internet.
well, it's usually really good. You guys want me to like redo like a reboot cycle? Like, if it gets that bad, I can.
Yeah, as someone who worked for Verizon for years, you know what we refer to your service as? T-Maybe.
Hey, don't you be jinxing my trip. I'm stopping at the T-Mobile store when I'm hitting Bangor. So,
hey, first of all, I've been with T-Mobile a decade. I can't say enough good. Okay, do you really want me to go into promo mode again? Because I don't get.
Wait, I don't work for Verizon anymore. You can say whatever you want about them.
I think it's just a matter of.
Hi, Cece.
Do you need? Talk amongst yourselves. She needs me for a second. I'll be right back.
No, maybe it'll let the internet stabilize.
Yeah, maybe we'll actually get.
Hey, actually, should I? I was actually just thinking that. Should I?
Yeah, why don't you go and reboot while you're talking?
Yeah.
Or, get your makeout session done, and I won't.
All right.
Yeah.
By the way, if you haven't seen part 1 of the reaction videos, and you don't have to be a Patreon. They are on the channel. The abbreviated versions, you will see that, yes, he does makeout sessions with her on camera and then immediately starts drooling over characters on the show like 2 minutes later. So go figure. Brian says, what do you think about different levels of technology in BSG? Hyperdrive, but no lasers, no touchscreens, but lots of buttons, etc. That's actually what I wanted to get to in part. Let's put. Can you move Danny to the bottom since he's not even there right now, and that way you're not covered by Brian's message. Anyway, okay. So hyperdrive, but no lasers. That means nothing to me. Hyperdrive is not related to weapons technology or anything like that. The faster than light travel that they use. It would be like saying, well, hey, NASA had rockets and they didn't have touch screens in the 60s.
Yeah.
So that means nothing. As far as as far as I'm choosing not to use lasers, I think that's
There was a bunch of commentary from Ronald D. Moore about this in something, one of the special features I watched at one point, or an interview. And and I made a comment earlier when Brian brought this up just a little bit, probably about a half hour ago. There was a huge desire to keep things perilous. And as soon as you introduce all kinds of magic hand waving,
right,
it just has a very negative effect on the show. And one of the biggest, longest standing complaints, even at the state of the internet in 2003, 2004, about Star Trek and Star Wars, is the constant back and forth about, well, how powerful is this? And of course, we all know now the big joke is it's as powerful as the plot required it to be.
Right. But a bullet is a bullet.
Yeah, exactly. And, as you've pointed out to Danny, the Galactica continues to collect damage because it doesn't have an easy way to repair itself. So there's no magic little robots flying around fixing things. There's no shields.
And if they say that we got hit by a 50 kiloton nuke, we know what a 50 kiloton nuke is.
Yeah, everything is a lot more relatable. Like there's that episode that we see.
And no, Brian, there
where
are no shields. There's no magic shields. There's no. There's no. The Cylons do have some of that tech, but that doesn't show up until like season 4.
Yeah,
where we find out how some of the Cylon tech works.
Yeah, but it's still not anything like Star Trek.
Right, where the Cylon ships can heal themselves, but that's because Cylon tech is organic.
Yeah, they grow everything. Yeah,
right.
I was going to say there was an episode. I think it was either late in season 3 or into season 4, where there was the sabotage going on. Do you remember that? Where they were sabotaging ammunition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you actually get to see them, and effectively, and I know as a prop, it was easy to just do this, but they're either 50 BMG or they're 20 millimeter rounds, but they're pretty sizable, and they are a very relatable look to them.
Right.
And
but they are just armor-piercing rounds.
Yeah, they're stupidly fast firing, but yeah, they're just everything is a projectile, whether it's rockets or whether it's lead bullets or whatever it is that they would use to make it. Yeah, and it just keeps things way more gritty, and you don't have to worry about, do Cylons have personal shield generators or any of that nonsense? Like, no, the Cylons are just the
Cylons have
the Centurions are just
they have machine guns built into them.
Yeah, they're just armored, and they have machine guns, and all of that. So
now a couple of things I do want to. I know that you guys are jumping ahead.
Do they ever? Yeah, do they ever run out of bullets? I don't know.
No, well, maybe it's hold on. There is some of that. We'll get to some of this. So depending on how long it takes Danny to finish making out with Cece and then to reboot. But so first of all, is the FTL instant? Basically the concept behind their FTL is space folding, which is a real concept in physics. The idea that if you can generate enough power, you can bend space-time and instantaneously move from one place to another. That is actually probably one of the more realistic methods of faster than light traveling, because you're not technically moving faster than light. You're just jumping from one point to another. And so, yes, it is instantaneous, but it is based on real physics. And notice the hardest thing about it is calculating how to get from point A to point B.
Yeah,
and that's why Gata's
Galactica.
That's why Gata's job, his primary duty, is to sit there and do the math.
I like this idea. I like this.
Yeah. They're slowly taking the ship apart for bullets. Actually, so they do. Okay, so as far as the bullet thing, someone mentioned that they never run out of bullets. They actually, in that same episode, the one with the sabotaging rounds, they talk about the manufacture of the bullets, and that's where the sabotage is going on. Because remember, some of the ships are refinery ships and stuff like that, and so they've turned this into a manufacturing process to keep the fleet armed. So yes, they are manufacturing more bullets. That's why they don't run out.
Yeah.
And so,
but they can't invent a laser gun. Well, they don't exactly have a whole lot of time to, have science fairs.
And someone, I think it was Stan Lee, said, but wait a minute, Galactica can take a nuke, right? And so, yes, Galactica can absolutely take a nuke. But if you have armor plating as thick as Galactica's, you can absolutely take a nuke. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean that if you hit Galactica in a vital spot, a nuke wouldn't do a whole lot of damage. And so, if Galactica, for example, got hit in the observation deck with a nuke, then that would do a lot.
Or if they managed to drift one up a landing pod.
Right. Yeah. If a nuke actually got into the landing pod, that would do a whole lot of internal damage to the ship. But the external armor of Galactica is very, very tough. And one thing that people forget is that shockwaves are very, very limited in space.
Yeah, there is one, but it doesn't have any effect on anything until it touches something. So if it's too far away, it's way too dispersed so quickly.
Yeah,
because dispersal rates are basically geometric, like they fall off on like a cube rule. So unless that thing goes off right beside you, you're pretty safe.
So yes, Galactica can take a nuke, but if you built a mile-long ship with, can
you guys hear me?
60
nice and clear as well.
60-foot thick armor, then you.
And then it jinxed me when I said that. I gotta shut up now.
Look at this. Hold up.
Ariel says, "What's a?" Why
See, my rebooting hell. You don't have to share it with the world. I'm just sharing it with you. Like rebooting worked. See, I've got.
Oh yeah, look at that 8 meg.
That's up. My down is 213. I'm fine.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but up is what's coming to us. That's why you keep having problems.
Oh, I have a problem getting it up. That's what Cece says.
Yeah, exactly. Danny can't get it up. That's what we figured it in. Yeah, there we go. Figured it out.
All right. Well,
it's all
mystery solved.
No,
sorry. What did I miss? Did you go on without me? Or
we were just
we were actually talking about some of the technology of Galactica. So
there's some comments that we were just addressing while we were waiting.
So that brings us to what we see here on this Raptor. Now, contrary to what I've heard people argue, and by the way, Stanley wants to know what your ping is.
I closed it. I'll redo it though. Yeah.
But since it's over cellular, it's not going to be as good as a landline. But I assume it's not that bad.
It'll probably be like 20 or 30.
Yeah. But did Galactica or Pegasus shoot missiles in the new series? Absolutely. Galactica has both conventional and nuclear warhead missiles in the new series. And so does Pegasus.
Here.
And we see Pegasus.
We don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about Pegasus.
We don't want to talk about
territory.
Pegasus. Yeah, because Danny hasn't seen Pegasus yet.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's actually getting worse. So I think my ping is at that 249. Is that what that is? No, in milliseconds. Actually, doesn't tell me what my ping is.
No, that's jitter. The ping won't come until you're down.
Yeah, the ping is usually at the end of the test.
Yeah.
Well, it's not there. It's just getting worse. Huh.
Am I forgetting how the speed?
But you see, the thing about ping times when you're going through cell towers is there's.
I always thought you got the ping first. I remember. Wow. Yeah. Now my download is terrible now. You know what it is? And I will concede this. It's a peak. Like if in 12 hours, my speed is like 500. You know what I mean? Because
it's 4 o'clock right there. They're there right now. So everybody's coming home
on their phones and shit.
And hey, Andy Tiger, welcome.
Hey.
But that's true of any service, regardless of what whether you're on fiber or dial-up. If you're on peak, it's going to be slower than if you're on off-peak. Well, fiber not so much, but
I mean, this is a huge difference. This might be enough for me to call T-Mobile and get stuff because, I mean, going from to like now it's doing better.
Ariel says it's all those naughty videos you're downloading. Now the thing about here's the thing about like with cellular
there's my look at that up's getting better.
I can see. Because you said up's getting better, and I was still seeing your downloads, so it's like it was doing that well.
And
now my up, So
99 for ping is okay, but I would not play video games on that.
Yeah. Well, I don't. My son does. In fact, Maybe that's what's going on. Hey, are you playing a video game right now? No. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, let's get back. Enough of my internet.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but anyway,
Hey, you did the background. Nice. Did you guys see that? It's a collaboration with my son. Looks good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it up last night.
Except that Jason looks like he's Asian.
What?
Those are glasses.
Yeah.
Wow. Son.
Well, so by that standard, so don't you, Salty.
So don't you?
What, buddy?
So don't you, because yours are slanted. Mine are slanted.
Yeah, but yours are also kind of squinty.
Well, look,
Yeah,
he's got the
it's
Morpheus
of how wide
glasses.
they are.
We forgot
And combine that with the
frames.
hair. And
the
granted,
hair
I know
looks.
that's.
The hair's spot on.
I
What are you
would
talking
bring
about?
up. I would bring up his hairline a little bit because I think the hairline you're being a little too generous to Jason.
See, that's the difference
I
between
know
you
you're being
and
nice. I know you're being nice, but
Look
his
at what I did to
hairline
your
is
hair.
Let me
little
relive
further
my
up.
younger years.
You're lucky we didn't put a man bun on you. Jesus. Anyway.
Also, yeah, and Stan points out that Jason's glasses don't have arms.
That's what I was talking about. That's why I said they're the
Yeah.
Morpheus
Yeah, they're like
glasses.
the Morpheus, like the. Boop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, okay. We didn't put the poll in the chat for the other thing, but if it's that big a deal, let me know in the chat if I need to add the arms of the frames to Jason's cartoon. Let me know. Other than
I
that,
still think we still need to figure
it
out
looks
if
great.
we're going to call it something other than retrospective, and we haven't gotten a single suggestion. At least
well,
not
it's
that
because
I
you didn't
saw.
put up a poll. You didn't put up a poll. You're supposed to
I
put
can't put
poll.
up a poll to enter in something because I'd have to put like multiple choice, and I don't have something to put into multiple choice.
Oh my God! Twinkle teaches you're being banned. She says it's Sexy Joe, not Sleepy Joe. Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Get
300-second
get her-
timeout.
Yeah. That liberal bleeding heart.
First
That's
of all,
your channel.
clearly
That's
she's-
from your channel.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Is that on your channel?
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, even better, preserved on your channel for you,
subscriber,
Danny.
buddy. Yeah. I love
Remember,
it.
the customer's
I love
always right,
it. Yeah, you're gonna ban your own
Customer's always an asshole.
but not when they have money.
Well,
And Andy
well, I
says, what
can't
do you do
monetize my
retrospective
channel.
about? Well, we're talking
We're-
about
well-
a 20-year-old show, so that's why.
But
I
it's
said
my first-
retrospective.
But it's
But yeah,
my
but-
first watch, so it doesn't make sense. So, like, the easiest thing would be for you. You could just say, whatever. What's it called? A Nerdfights, a Salty Trekker retrospective or something. Like, what's the actual title again?
A salty spective. A salt spective. A salt spective. I don't know.
Yeah, what's on the card?
Yeah, didn't quite capture Jason's widow's peak. Man, dude, people are roasting you, Jason. It's not that. I think it's spot on.
understand. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if you look at Jason's actual hairline, I think Jason's hairline is
It
a
looks
little more
perfect.
defined as far as. And I'm not trying to say that's a bad thing. I don't think Jason's a bad looking guy. I'm just saying that his hairline is a little more defined than what you did.
You know what? You haters in the chat, if you can draw something better, then do it. Otherwise, shut the f- up.
Yeah, yeah.
What do we got here?
Rumination, not retrospective.
And Danny's being so lazy about not drawing two lines for his glasses.
Well, for Jason's glasses. Okay, fine.
That's Jason's glasses.
I'll put
See,
the-
that's the problem. You can't even tell whose glasses they are because.
Okay, fine.
you-
Jesus.
Everyone's a critic.
Yeah, I know, right? Look, this is all that matters to me. Before I use this asset in anything, I sent it to Jason. And he had his opportunity to be like, hey,
Yeah, and
add
I
that
liked it.
or make my hair whatever.
Yeah.
No, he said, perfect. Boom.
That's
Yeah,
because
done.
Jason's
That's all I
always
need to hear.
fantasized about being Asian.
Ah,
Doesn't look Asian at all. What the hell? Where are you getting Asian from?
freaking pastiest Canadian.
Exactly.
And I
You
even
don't
gave
look
you a
like
little. I even gave you a little
don't look like
color.
a
Gave you a
pasty
little
Canadian
tan,
in that
you know?
picture.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
dude, I'm not trying to insult. Look,
Yeah.
we're drawing the best versions of ourselves. I mean, look, Look at that. You see me? I don't have my
Yeah,
man boobs.
And of course,
Come on.
and
Do I really want to draw my man boobs?
Not that I
want
want-
to draw me man boobs. Come on.
not that I want to compliment Darren Wagner, but he did point out correctly that, it's interesting that Danny put himself in the captain's shirt.
Well, it's just because
It's my channel, but he put himself in the captain's shirt.
Wow. Well, Spock is a cat. Okay. Is that really a problem?
Spock is not the captain of the original series.
So, do you really want me to swap us? Because I'm not.
No,
Because I'm more like.
I obviously no, but I don't have a problem with it. I just thought it was funny.
One of my
right.
my best friend
Retro spectacle, says Indy.
Retro spectacle.
Okay, I feel like there
and
should
exactly,
be
Stan,
something.
Spock is the more intelligent one, so that's why.
That's right. So, see, that's why I figured you'd like that. I'm the more brash, emotional, fly by the seat of his pants guy, and you are the more. You really are the more.
You should really be the Dr.
logical.
McCoy of the group.
See, I would take that. I'd do that. So what I was going to say,
So you with a bottle of Saurian brandy.
But McCoy is a healer, not a fighter.
Yeah, that's true.
So my really good friend Jason Marshall, my buddy I've talked about, who passed away, he said something so funny to me one time. He's like, my whole life, I thought I was, I thought, again, we've known each other up until he died anyway, like since 6th grade. He's like, I always thought like you were Kirk and I was Spock, but the fact of the matter is, I'm really Scotty. And the reason for that was he said that he was saying that whilst drinking a neat Canadian mist, which is disgusting. But it was just hilarious because the whole point was Scotty's if you go back to the original series, Scotty's always getting drunk. You know what I mean? Right. That's his thing. He's always like he's got booze hidden. He's like
yeah. Scotty's the only one that actually hides booze in his quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do see that in the show. Yeah. That's pretty bad.
So we could call it the first spectacle.
The first spectacle. Hey, that's not bad. Put that right. See, that can be one of the things we put in a poll. So let's write that down.
So we have retro spectacle and first spectacle.
Okay, I'm writing these down or typing these. First spectacle.
Do we have any other suggestions?
What was it? Retro spectacle? Is that what you said? Retro.
Yeah, that's what Indy suggested.
All right, we need at least like 2 more for a poll. So like, help us out, guys. Throw us out some more.
A hat cheap Canadian rye.
I
prefer a Scottish neat.
Look,
when a single malt Scottish neat, but
before
I actually do like Scotch on the rocks as well.
So my mom was all about Scotch, and every time I have good memories before I became a degenerate, where I'd visit my mom and stepdad, and she'd break out her Glenfiddich or whatever it's called. She can correct me if she's still in the chat, and we'd share a drink together.
Glenfiddich is good.
I didn't really care for it. I'm more of a Kentucky bourbon guy, to be honest with you. So that's my poison of choice.
That's because you're into hooch. That's.
Hey, I won't tell Cece you called her that.
Yeah, she said Glenfiddich.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So.
Crown Royal is not bad for Canadian stuff. I like
stuff is just
I like Crown Royal apple. I've actually. Yeah, Crown Royal apple is actually good.
That sounds gross.
I thought it sounded gross too until Captain Foley talked me into. He begged me to try it.
And because the stereotype deserves to be kept alive, there's Crown Royal maple, Danny.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It is horrible. It's every bit as bad as it sounds. It is disgusting. I've tried that. But the Crown Royal apple is actually surprisingly tasty.
You know what's funny? Before I was literally about to say the reason I don't like Crown Royal is because
is it pronounced Glenfiddich?
It's too sweet. I was literally going to say it reminds me of maple syrup, but I refrained because I didn't want to sound like racist toward Canadians because maple syrup can't But then
it is. But then
there's literally one called Crown Royal Maple. So That's
Yep.
got to be disgusting. That's got to be.
And it comes.
Yeah.
It initially came in a maple leaf shaped bottle, if I remember correctly. But
See, now
But,
that would be cool just to have the bottle on the shelf, but
Yeah.
like I wouldn't drink it,
So Martin, we've completely gone off the rails here.
Hey, but we're having fun. We've got
exactly.
well, we got like 18 people.
We're
watching
down
us.
to 18 at the moment,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, so the Highland Scotch is great, like Jack Daniel's and Buffalo Trace, so it's pronounced Glenfiddich.
I don't know,
Scotch-
Mom, is that right? She's going to fact check this Martin person because my mom's. all
as far
about
as Glenfiddich versus
Yeah.
Fiddich,
I think it's
I don't
Fiddich,
know. But
Glenfiddich, but anyway.
I've always said Glenfiddich, but if it's Fiddick,
I bet Martin is.
I'd rather pronounce it correctly. So if it's actually pronounced Glenfiddich,
Really? So is it GIF or JIF? Because I bet you Martin's the.
Well,
the
that's
GIF
why,
kinda guy.
I haven't talked to an actual person from Scotland about it. So,
Is Martin from Scotland?
I don't
My
know.
Aunt Angel
I
lives
don't know
in
where
Scotland.
Martin's from. I'm just,
wonder if I could
but I'm
call
just saying. I would. Oh, he's from the UK. He says so. But as far as high, because there is a difference. A lot of people don't realize that there's a difference between Scotch from different regional areas. Highland Scotch has a very different taste.
He called me a Muppet. I love this guy, Martin. He said, "I sell it, you Muppet."
I love it. I steal that once in a while, Muppet.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but I'll. Why? Other than Muppets being like Kermit the Frog.
No, it's correct me if I'm wrong. That's like it's like calling somebody a moron in the UK.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like-
Yeah.
and you don't hear it that
yeah.
often.
Yeah.
In a derogatory sense. Usually Americans, we associate Muppets like down in Fraggle Rock or whatever. You know what I mean? Ooh, I'm Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
But not with idiot.
Yeah, you called me a Muppet. That's awesome. Jim Henson was awesome.
Yeah, no, that's not what he meant, bro.
Yeah, and by the way, it is actually GIF. What the funniest thing I ever saw was there's actually a clip of this on the net. Is the guy who invented
That's what I was going to say.
GIF
The guy
actually went up to accept an award, and his acceptance was words on the screen, and it just said it's said GIF, and not GIF.
Yeah. And
so, you know what my answer is to anyone who tries to say, but it has to be GIF? Well, is it a giraffe or a giraffe?
Hey, that's pretty good. I've gotten shit. That's why, because I don't know if you guys
He's
saw on
wrong.
Twitter.
The guy who invented it is wrong.
The guy who invented no, that's what people tell me all the time. Like, how can the guy who invented it be wrong? He invented it. It's like his thing. So I'm actually.
Don't you know, Stanley? Don't you know you give people a Christmas gift?
Gift.
Is it gift or gift?
No, it's a gift. I give you a Christmas gift.
And
Here's your
hey,
birthday gift.
if you don't like
Alrighty.
Jiffy peanut butter, then that's just too bad.
So, thank you, everyone, for joining us for this first
Really
retro
bizarre.
spectacle of the miniseries part
we haven't
2.
we haven't even gotten to the
Battlestar
end of the
Galactica.
credits yet.
We're
I
going.
know.
We haven't even got to the end of the opening credits.
Like the first credit is on the screen or something here.
I'll go. I'll even go long. I don't care.
And
we
Ariel,
can go,
it's
we can go a
Gim.
little long.
You go to work out at the Gim.
The Gim.
Did you know that?
That's why English is so stupid. We're just not
know.
consistent. We're just not consistent with our rules in English. It's just...
No, they don't have Scotch on Galactica. They have Ambrosia is the name of the booze that they drink. And that's the only one I think they give by name. Other than that, they just say booze.
So say we all.
Yeah. But I mean, like what you see Thai drinking looks a lot like Scotch. but we don't know what it is. I don't think he ever says.
It's got like that. It could be Scotch, could be bourbon, could be whiskey. It's kind of like brown.
Well, Scotch is whiskey.
It's amber, and that's all.
Well, I get and technically so is bourbon.
Whiskey are all the same.
They're all the
variants of the same.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's we're agreeing.
We're
agreeing.
Yeah.
We're agreeing.
Yeah.
So back to some show.
They're not vodka.
Okay. So
right?
we've lost another viewer. We should probably
gin.
get back to the review. So
well, maybe if you weren't insulting our viewers for being too liberal.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure Twinkle left because of that, and I'm sorry.
You owe Twinkle a serious apology the next time Twinkle shows up.
Well, she's wrong. Clearly, it's Sleepy Joe, not sexy. Does anybody other than her apparently think Joe Biden is sexy? I mean, it's kind of gross. You need to get medical help, lady, if you think he's sexy. I mean, just saying. Oh, but you left, so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I doubled down on the insult, but she's gone. So
dang, that's just brutal.
KFC heart attack.
Yeah, I hear Dork Knight calls me Sleepy Joe. Well, Dork Knight, let me tell you, I'm gonna drag your sorry ass back to Scranton and put you to sleep, motherfucker.
Yeah, so please send me that clip.
Yeah, like right after the show, you got to send it.
I need you to send me that clip.
Make like 20 of those.
Fine. I need that one. I want to put it on Twitter. I'm going to pin that tweet because you can put videos on Twitter, and just that's beautiful. That's like, oh my God, it's the best thing you've ever done for me. Oh my God, awesome. So
awesome. Oh man. So anyway, what I was trying
what bothers
to
me
say
the
an hour ago.
Yes. Fair enough.
So the Raptor that we
see how smart I was for bringing the bottle. I don't have to get up to refill. So this is
there you
go. How did that happen?
What happened?
There? Button. There we go.
What'd you do?
I meant to do that so we could see the whole screen.
Hey, everyone, not a sponsor. Sorry.
Why are you showing me that? Because clearly we should be drinking one of the Big K citrus cola.
Kroger.
We
have Smiths out here, but they're owned by Kroger, so we get Kroger products.
Did you know actually Kroger is the largest distributor of grocery products in the country? They distribute to almost every major, and his internet is gone again. Just as T maybe, folks. T maybe. That's why we called it that. T maybe.
Is there something wrong with my internet or something?
Yeah, it died again.
Yeah,
and now we're down to
started
15
to glitch.
People.
Yeah.
All right. So, and now that we're down to 15 people, probably because you're showing Pepsi products.
Should be showing Coke.
Yeah.
Oh man, I should
Stop
probably message. Twinkle follows me on Twitter. I will message this person. My apologies.
Yeah. You just need to put out a public tweet apologizing to Twinkle. Say, Twinkle, I don't know who you are. Twinkle, 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 Twitter star. I don't really know who the heck you are.
No, I know who she is. I just messaged her, and hopefully she knows. Man, it's all supposed to be in fun. Don't take shit seriously. Come on. Anyway, let's get to the review.
All right, so
2 hours later, let's get to the review.
Yeah, as we're looking at the and inside this Raptor, sans Hilo, because Hilo is stuck on the planet. And we see all the various controls in the Raptor. That's what I was getting to. And it's funny because one of the people when you were gone was asking about the lack of touchscreens and stuff. And the lack of touchscreens is not just because Galactica is an old ship, because this Raptor is cutting edge technology in this show. The Raptors are not outdated. The Viper Mark IIs are outdated.
Did you see Martin's thing in the chat? That's
Twinkle,
a smooth
twinkle, little star,
line.
will you meet me in the bar?
Yeah, that's a smooth pickup line, brother. I have mad respect. Yeah. I dig it. Yeah.
we're back up to 17, so I guess that pickup line worked.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So, but you notice that the physical buttons, the physical switches, the and the screens and everything that are not just touch screens.
She's blaming the. She's blaming the. She texts me back. She's blaming the sexy Joe comment on the champagne. Remember, I don't know if you saw earlier. She was saying she's having champagne for the first time.
Oh, okay.
And she said, I think I had too much champagne.
Okay.
So she's blaming the champagne for the sexy Joe comment. So we're good now. The peace has been made. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. People that come on this show.
Hey,
Keep the lights on.
Hey, what's your Patreon? I need a simple thing, like, because the salty one's
Onyx and
easy.
Zircon, which is in the description of.
Yeah, later when we get off, you need to do like Salty Nerd. Like, we need to get you like a .com that forwards to it, so you don't have to be like patreon.com/blah blah 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 blah, or hey, go to Patreon and search for blah 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 blah. You know, like that. Like they have the saltynerdclub.com, and all it is a forward to their Patreon. So
Well, yeah,
we should do that. Maybe like nerdfights.com or Onyx, and that's the other thing. I get the name, your Onyx and Zircon name, but you got to understand, you got to promote to the lowest common denominator, and most people will not know how to spell that.
Wow, so now you're insulting my audience again.
No. I'm insulting the general public because Americans are stupid. I mean, it's just the truth. I am told, no, seriously, for what I do for a living.
You're insulting my audience again.
I'm not insulting your audience. For my the general public, I'm supposed to write content that is third grade reading level. I am not kidding.
Right. I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But you shouldn't be saying that in public. You should be saying that in a private meeting. Not like you see, like you don't say it to your audience that you're going to market to.
No,
the
our audience, first of all,
denominator.
our audience is smart. Okay, we have a smart audience.
So you don't need to market to the lowest common denominator because they're smart.
No. We have no. Here's the thing: I don't have to market to our audience because they're already here. I have to market to people who aren't here so we can get a bigger audience. And sadly, to do that, I have to cater to the lowest common denominator. So really, I'm not insulting our audience or your audience or whatever you want to call it. I'm actually complimenting them because they're smart. That's why they're here. Okay. Once we have.
So this is some sticker shock. I just started trolling around on Hover for a minute. Saltyproductions.com, available for the low bargain basement price of $1,200.
Go to my domain site because I can give you cost on if you're looking for domains, because I do sell domains. I have since 2004. Here, I'll put in the private chat.
Site link around here
And regardless of whatever the price it shows you is, hit me up before you buy something. I can see you at buy rate. You know what I mean? So it'll be at least half off probably or something.
Yeah. Oh, stop it.
Gorilla, no, you're already here. You're not amongst
you're
the
hurting,
lowest
you're
common
hurting people's
denominator.
feelings. That's.
No, they're like, okay, it's not my fault. People are so stupid they can't understand what I'm saying. Oh, I did it again.
Oh, yeah, see, you just did it again.
And then I just
Kidding.
walked into
These are
again.
called jokes, people. These are called jokes. Before the woke happened and the Me Too movement, things like that, there was a time where
you're not
people
allowed to
just
joke
take a
anymore.
joke.
Didn't you
It's
know that?
Dick, it's a joke. Learn how to take it. Okay.
You're not allowed to joke anymore. Jokes are not allowed. It's called cancel culture, dude.
Yeah, well, people are bored, or people have no. Yeah.
That's a loaded question, Brian. And better is a subjective.
Yeah, I only put The Expanse ahead of Battlestar by a little bit.
No,
like a nose.
and I put
Gorillas,
Battlestar ahead of
random
the
thoughts. You are not stupid because our fans are smart. How many times do I have to say that? Okay, all 12 of you that are here, or 8, whatever it is, you're the why you're here. Once we get to like Midnight's Edge levels and we have like over 1,000 people watching, I can guarantee you 90% of them will be stupid. But that's because that's how marketing works. Okay, that's what I'm getting at.
And they're going to come back and go back and watch this episode and stop watching.
No, you know why? Because they're too stupid to even understand they're being insulted. That's what's great about it. That's what's great about it. They're just, anyway.
So if you're not insulted by what he just said, you're too stupid to know you were insulted.
Or you're smart enough to know I wasn't insulting you.
There we go.
Oh man, I love you guys.
Meanwhile, poor Michael Reimer's getting more publicity than he
Michael Reimer, man, good for you, buddy. You're getting like everything out of this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, by the way, he directed this, right? I think we figured that out.
Yeah. Well,
We've only had his name on pause for like an hour, so I think we're.
Yeah, I know. So let's. I think we've.
Right. So
This horse has left the barn.
I'm trying to get to my point here. So I like the fact that the technology here is to me it feels more real than when we're on TNG and we have touchscreens everywhere and
it has that TOS vibe or a submarine vibe, more tactile switches, buttons, things like that. Yeah.
Right, which honestly in the real world is more dependable than things that can, if you crack the screen, stop working.
Right.
That.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Well, let's just skip ahead a little bit, shall we? And what's going on?
You know
here?
what you need to skip to, seriously, because I bet it's not that far in. You need to go to the part where they just nonchalantly show that everybody I thought was dead is still alive. Like, because it is just a very like a quick cut to the president and other people on the ship that I thought got blown up. Like it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird.
Oh,
right here.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, they're alive. It's like they don't make it's just nothing. It's like,
well, but they do quickly explain what happened.
Yeah, and I do love the fact too that even Lee is like passed out on the floor from
because
playing with the angry pixies.
Yeah, so basically, for those of you that don't know, these big coil-like things behind them, they explain are hyperdrive coils. They're used with their hyperdrives.
I'm not showing it, but we need to hurry because I can't eat this on your show.
Will you put that down?
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't get your blood pressure raised like that. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I am. You better not move to Nashville.
I'm not going to have someone to visit in Nashville in a few weeks here. I'll just be like a headstone. Yeah. Here lies.
Well, the good news is, when my wife goes to spread my ashes at Valdez, is it Valdez or Valdez Rocks? Is that what it is?
Vasquez or something.
Oh,
Vasquez
the fight was.
Yeah, that's what my I was talking to my wife about. When I die, that's where I want my ashes spread. Is at those rocks. So you can go to that. So, and I invite everybody to come. For that. Anyway, so the
I want a Viking.
Put my ashes in a paper mache rock and then roll it off the top like Captain Kirk did.
No, I want to if I can be serious for a minute, I've always said this. I want like a Viking funeral or a Jedi funeral. It's the same
so thing. They're gonna CC is on a boat and they burn her alive while
there's a big bonfire where they're roasting me and everybody's drinking and partying and having a good time. Like preferably. If we get the Deftones are still alive, they could be the live act. Like I want it to be like not a sad thing, like a party thing, and then my ashes just go into the ether while being evaporated amongst my friends and family. I kind of like that idea better than because if I were just to get cremated, I'd want my kid, like my oldest, like Devin, I'd want him to keep my ashes in an urn forever. And that's just weird. You know what I mean?
See, this is how effective of a parent I am. I made Gorilla's kid drop the Nintendo Switch when I said put that down. That is awesome.
Salty's
well, it's no different
than
Stanley. It's no different than Qui-Gon Jinn or Darth or Viking. So what you were talking about, not Vikings, but like royalty back in the day, they would like put them on like a raft thing and set them on fire and put them out to sea. I don't want to do that. I want it to be more like the party vibe,
like a great big funeral pyre.
Yeah.
And people having a party.
So people will smell your rotting flesh is what you want.
Jesus, man, that's not how it works.
No, only if you do it wrong.
Yeah.
What it smells like barbecue.
Well, that's if you're doing it right.
Hey, they're going to be partying. They're going to be drinks. They're probably going to have actual barbecue they can eat or food.
You see, I don't know if I want to eat barbecue right after watching my friend literally be barbecue.
You're not really supposed to watch me.
You know what's funny is the objection to the idea, even though there's so many things in fiction, both science fiction and fantasy, where everyone's just like, yes, what an awesome way. That's a perfect funeral. And, like Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi, and everyone's all solemn, and, pulled dork sandwiches.
That was clever.
Okay,
that was clever.
Now you need to start a restaurant.
We're definitely not going to get through this episode. Just
no.
Hey, man, Cece's come and gone, and like you have
me. Yeah, we know. That's why as long as you want me.
Huh?
Well, no. I mean, I make a dirty joke, and you totally don't get it. I can't believe it.
Oh, I missed it too. I'm
sorry. Dang, I can't believe
it. Okay. Well, look, I don't think of you in that way, so I don't think.
Yeah, his mind is not engaged for that. It's like
I cannot believe you missed a dirty joke from me. So,
yeah, but it was coming from you. Okay, Mom, I get it, Mom. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, got the joke. Okay, it took me, Jesus, people.
Yeah, when your mom explain to you what that word is, that's bad.
Now here's the best part. 20 minutes ago, Mike was rolling his eyes.
Like we are still on the effing opening credits. Do you see that? It's in my shot.
I know.
He's like,
we got past the opening credits. I think. Well, yeah, we're past the opening credits. We're 7 minutes in to an hour and 29-minute episode. This live stream shouldn't be more than about 30 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the big coil things behind are hyperdrive coils, and he explains that he used one. He overloaded one, which created a simulated nuclear explosion in space, and basically sent off an EMP pulse. And it showed up on Dratus like a nuke went off, and so it tricked the Cylons, but it also tricked Galactica into thinking that everything in the area was blown up.
Oh man, your internet is just
tonight, T-Maybe once again. Let's see if Danny comes back this time. And meanwhile,
I need you to stop using the internet.
See, this is why you should get. I'm sorry. Look, I know that the modern thing to do now is to have everything be wireless, but internet should still involve a wire
where possible. Yeah. It's my general inclination.
Oh, hey, on Kronos, I like mine too. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't think he likes your mom in the same way you like your mom. I think Kronos wants to be your new stepfather, but
you and Papa Tom are gonna have to have like that 2 men enter, 1 man leave kind of thing. The Thunderdome. You're gonna have to change him.
Two went down, 1 came up from was it Con Air?
Oh no! Martin wants to join into that action, so it looks like Penny's gonna have a 3-man fight going on there.
No, she's married to my stepdad for, I don't know what, Mom, 26, 27, or something like that.
So Alexander said, I have T-Mobile too. It's better than DSL. Well, that's like saying that, it's better.
Oh, wow. Is he out here with, is he in Vegas too? Because I used to have Central.
I think he's on the West Coast someplace.
Yeah. But I mean, saying that you have, Danny's sounding like a Cylon because he uses T-Maybe for his internet.
Wow.
And so, and you're going to get in trouble for that, right?
No, I'm allowed to smoke cigars in the house since she doesn't mind.
Well, I can't tell what it is because you're so blurry. And Alexander, you're in Oregon. Okay. Well, then you should, honestly.
That's the West Coast. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, well, I would say T-Mobile is definitely better than, a DSL. If it's available, like a cable modem would be better than T-Mobile.
Again, not a sponsor, but,
But still going to sponsor it, going to pimp it, because why not? Are they paying you just directly or something?
No, and you'd think I could at least get some free cigars out of it, but no.
Yeah. Well, what happened to Crazy Alexander? Oh, I don't know. It's probably still crazy. And, anyway. So they're still alive. Meanwhile, Starbuck is, still Starbuck. And dead people are still dead.
Does she have a whoa? That's
yes, she has a neck tattoo.
She did. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And she gets more tattoos as the series goes on.
Yeah.
And there's Galactica docking with the giant space station of Doom, Ragnar Station.
Yeah.
And then, hey, Chief Cook, speaking of insanity. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, Chief. No, well, as big as the Galactica is, because the way you guys have described it to me, it's like
Galactica is roughly a mile long.
Yeah, it's basically a mile.
A mile long. And this thing's bigger. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's hooking up to.
We figure that would put Ragnar Station at somewhere around the scale of like Starbase 1.
Maybe even bigger.
Yeah. So it's hard to tell because we don't get a real clear shot of Ragnar Station because of the nebula and all that. But
it's really hard because the only frame of reference is the Battlestar,
right?
And like there's not really another frame of reference,
Right. And
no. So Stan Lee, that's what I'm saying. If Galactica's huge, imagine how huge this is. Like, I wish they'd have put it in front of a planet or something, so I could have got I don't know, some kind of scale. Right?
Well, and also this is something that's interesting that they don't do on this show that is different than pretty much every other sci-fi franchise. Is notice that every spaceship isn't covered in windows.
That actually is something.
Practically, why would you do that?
Yeah, except for like Starliners, there's basically no windows on any of these ships.
Yeah. And notice that the ships that do have windows, like Colonial 1 has windows along the side. The 1701 that is the Olympic carrier, it has windows along the side. But those ships are cruise ships. And so they're not designed for long-term travel, right? So where the Galactica is a ship that's meant is like a submarine, like you said, and what you don't have on submarines? Windows. Naval submarines don't have windows on them. Yes, Stanley. The ribs on the Galactica, most of them would not be visible. There's some visibility. Like if you want to see what Galactica looks like under normal circumstances, watch Blood and Chrome. You see the Galactica at her prime in Blood and Chrome.
Or if you've played Deadlock, the video game.
Yeah. So some of the ribbing is still visible, but there's definitely more armor. And yes, Galactica is ribbed for her pleasure.
I just want to apologize. I really do think that. Have you heard that saying, when you dance with the devil, you don't change the devil changes you? I think that's what's happening here. I think I'm a bad influence on you, and I apologize to all your friends and family.
Bad. Speaking of Colonial 1, so here is a nice...
It's like your third perverted joke, at least, of the stream, and That's like gotta be.
I think he's just going for like a record derailed stream today.
Yeah.
Well, the stream is so fracking derailed today.
But it's fracking fun. Like I get, like, come on,
Yeah.
It's not like we're getting paid for this. We might as well be having fun.
Yeah.
Not yet. But if we do
I know, right? We haven't got any super chats. We got one super tip from Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, that one of our viewers calls Sexy Joe. Which, Jesus, man, good Lord, she's got.
Please touch the third rail. We've been standing on that third rail today.
Touch it. It's our waifu at this point.
The third rail, yeah.
If I had to take a shot for every tangent, I would be dead by now, Gorilla.
I think we'd all be dead right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of my problem. I wouldn't be dead. I'd be blackout drunk, but I wouldn't be dead.
Oh, I think even you would be dead if you had to take a shot for every time you derail.
It's the speed that it would be inhaled is the problem. Not
All right, so obviously Boomer gets to Colonial 1, and so the refugees on that Raptor manage to get onto Colonial 1. And this is where Lee meets Baltar and the president.
President Roslin, right? Did I get that right? Roslin?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What's
And
Baltar's first name? It's something weird.
Gaius.
Or something?
Yes.
Is Gaius? Okay.
Yeah. Kronos, where can you see BSG? You can currently stream it on Peacock if you have a premium membership. You can't see it with a free membership, but the premium membership's like $5 a month.
It's $5. It's $4.99.
Yeah. You can also purchase the entire series, which does include not Blood and Cone, Razor and The Plan. And that's like less than $60 on Amazon, the Blu-ray set. Well worth the money.
Physical media is where it's at, man. Because
I understand if you want to stream it.
Streaming.
Right. I understand if you want to stream it, although I will tell you, you will, if you stream it, that's with commercials. Even the $5 a month, that is with commercials. Yeah. However,
hey, are you complaining? You still have a username on my account, so you're not paying anything for it. Are you mad that I'm not spending the extra $5 so you don't have to sit through commercials? Because I feel like these are little hidden jabs at me that only you and I would know. No,
I'm just letting people know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
the only one I know of that gets completely rotted over commercials on some of those streaming services is Brian.
Well, dude, no.
Brian raged hard a couple days ago about it.
Yeah. Well, no, he and I have been raging about Paramount Plus worst. It's the effing worst. So I have the most. Yeah. And I canceled it, but I had to reenact it or reactivate it because I really liked Picard and I wanted to keep watching it. And what are you flexing here?
That's how
buddy?
they get you.
Yeah.
This is worth every penny. It's like $56.99. This box set it includes it includes the miniseries, all 4 seasons of the series, Razor, and The Plan. All right, on Blu-ray, and it has.
I remember when I was like, "Well." What I was talking about.
Yeah. You stay under that. What are you doing, Danny?
Every single penny, and the not Danny's mom penny, the wrong penny, Kronos. But in addition to all that, it has Ronald D. Moore's commentary tracks, which are priceless in themselves. So so I cannot recommend this highly enough.
Right on.
And so.
Again, not a sponsor of the show. Now Mike's in promo mode.
Definitely not getting a dime from Ronald D. Moore. I would love to, but believe me, if Terry Metalis can go screw a Borg. I don't care. But I would
Whoa. This
escalated rapidly.
You can't just say
I would love to
you
get Ronald D. Moore on this show and say and just wax over him in Battlestar Galactica for an hour. I mean,
So why did you have to insult Terry Tallis? Like, what was the point of that?
because
I just
Picard
don't
season
understand
3 sucked, and everybody thinks it's the greatest thing ever.
You need to make a Scranton video for Mike.
Yeah. I'll make a Scranton video about Terry Metalis.
No, because you'll do it to your favor. We need to turn it the other way around.
Exactly. Oh, man, you can give me some ideas. You know, maybe that person who super chats is Joe Biden will write some ideas for me.
Speaking of ideas, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we want to do a poll. We need 2 more names. So far, we've got First Spectacle and Retro Spectacle. Come on, give us a couple more ideas, and we'll open up a poll. Like, because, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, he's calling this Battlestar Galactica stuff a retrospective because it's a very old show and they've both seen it. But on the other hand, the whole point of us doing this is because this is my first watch and I've never seen it. So we need a fun mashup name. So help us
Brian,
out.
a name for this. A name for what we're doing right now as far as this series of shows.
Yeah, anytime we do old shows, especially ones that one of us has only seen for the first time.
Right. But others of us have already seen. You know, if none of us have seen it versus because we're going to do shows when there's not a new show on. That when there's a new show, it's just Nerdfights, right? But when we're doing an old show, it could be a retrospective if we've all seen it, but it could be something else if none of us have seen it or if 1 or 2 of us have seen it.
Right. Yeah.
And this show started in 2003, Kronos.
The miniseries was 2003. Yes, the show proper
Christmas
is 2004. Right.
Yeah.
But this is generally considered Galactica 2003. Is
okay?
Yeah. That's weirdly that's how it shows up on most sites. Like if you go on IMDb or whatever.
Yeah. But if you just say, if you say Galactica 2003 or Galactica,
what?
That's going to be one of
salty
those.
Salty in the nuts. Yeah.
Salty in the nuts. That's a good one. All right. So we did one more, and then we can make a poll, guys. We just need one more idea. One more clip.
So we have Leoben, who they find on the station, and he claims to be an arms dealer. What did you think of Leoben when we first met him?
Well, for me, the first time I saw him, it was instantly obvious that he was a Cylon for me.
Yeah, well, this dude, like I said this while we were watching it, this poor bastard's typecast. He plays the same, like, untrustworthy, killer douchebag I've ever seen him. And I've seen him, audience help me out. Where
you know what? Team Mobile needs to help you out. I couldn't understand half of what you said.
Yeah, you have to repeat that. Yeah, you really broke up bad from the internet. Oh man.
Cliff's notes. This guy's just typecast. He's always
now you're clear.
Playing the same role.
Yeah, now you're. That's so weird. Tell everyone to go home and start using their home internet instead of the cell.
Get off of the freaking cell phone, people. I need my bandwidth.
Yeah.
No, I just I wish you guys were night owls like me.
You don't have people in the house using like their home Wi-Fi for their cell phones, do you?
Not at present, but yeah, I mean,
because that's kind of redundant since you're using.
I get that, but here's the thing: it's so stupid. It's faster through this device than it is.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah,
I get that, but at the same time, it would kill you when you're doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I agree. But Dorian doesn't have a phone, and he and I already had a conversation. He's staying off.
Right. I heard you. Yeah, you asked him to stay off.
I didn't yell at him. He was in the other room. I don't yell at my son. Anyway, let's just get back to this guy's typecast. He's always
All
a
right, so
douchebag.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
He's been
so
in another
I,
sci-fi
well,
show.
I've never seen
Yeah,
the
he,
guy
he
before. That I
yeah,
can
he
think
does
of.
tend to the roles. Now his role is a lot deeper in this than what you're quite ready for. There's an awesome episode coming up in season 1 between him and Starbuck. Actually, I will
Yes.
at least give you a teaser on that. But yeah, he is generally typecast in a lot of other stuff. That's
Nuts
in
The problem is we may not always be on in a space show.
This is true.
Yeah, and so meanwhile, Gaius is pretending to have sex with a hallucination in his head, or is she a hallucination? We don't really know.
She
What
is
sick?
She is fine. That's what she is. She's. Oh my god.
Yeah, we know you think she's hot,
What is it?
but what is she? Do you think?
God, great create.
And there he goes. He's lost again because your internet really bites, dude. We need to get you better internet. That needs to be a priority. You need better internet.
New place, new
Well,
internet.
look, I have to move, and hopefully the new place I moved to's got better.
Yeah, well, hopefully. But yeah, so any ideas on what 6 is at this point?
Head 6 in particular.
Oh well, Patreons.
Remember, we're not talking about
Talks-
like after the next few episodes.
No,
we've seen. What do you think now?
I think either the dude's a Cylon and he doesn't know it, and there's some kind of history there, or kind of something we talked about the other day. The somehow like she's been like implanted in him or just injected, like I don't know, nanites or a chip or whatever, like.
And he's gone.
Oh, and the T-Mobile betrayed.
Maybe that's. We'll see if he makes it back in a
Salt
minute.
pillar of space.
So, Famous Bearer says, just joining in. Welcome, Famous Bearer. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the show. And this has just been the most off the rails episode thus far.
Yeah, we're not normally quite this derailed, but
We're close though. We're not a particularly organized show, but we do have a lot of fun around here. That's the main thing. But welcome. Hope that you are doing well. Brian asks, as Tennessee is better than internet than Vegas. Apparently, yes.
well, I would suggest it's more that
At least
where he is
does.
Yeah,
You know,
I would bet his problem is more that where he is, he may not be able to get, fiber service or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something about where he's at right now. He can't get decent service. Kronos did not like this version of Baltar. We did see 6 die in a nuke attack. That is true.
Oh, you're muted. Oh, you're not muted. No.
Am I back?
You are back.
You're back. Yeah.
I never
Salt
saw
pillars of
that
space.
before. StreamYard kicked me out, and it gave me a message.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it said StreamYard was like, your internet connection is not something cannot support.
Oh, 'cause it was so
StreamYard
bad?
system. I guess it got really bad. Yeah, and so
Oh, wow, and it
StreamYard
punted
kicked me
you.
out.
I have heard people. I've never had it happen to me because
Yeah.
I
First time I ever
fiber,
saw
but,
that.
But I've heard people tell
See,
me that.
We don't have fiber where I live. It's like, here's the thing. I've always
Right,
liked
the
living-
Kylo Rens. No,
No,
I will. I will
Thank you.
definitely
Yeah,
veto that one.
Yeah, no,
We shall pass
that's not
on
getting
that.
on the. Yeah.
Executive decision.
Yes.
For the last 13, 14 years, I've always lived on the outskirts of Vegas so I could have like a bigger house with like land and away from bullshit. But that costs more money. I'm about to downsize a lot. So, hey, if anybody is interested, and I have a 3-bedroom house full of memorabilia that I probably won't be able to fit into. I'm going to downsize. I'm just going to get like a small, like 2-bedroom, maybe even an apartment for the first time in decades. Just so I live closer into the city, and there should be fiber there. You know what I mean?
Ah, that'll help. Yeah.
Yeah, because right now I'm not I live in the country, but I live in the southernmost community. If you're on the 15 heading to California from Nevada, I live on the last exit before the next one is California type thing. You know what I mean? So I'm really south. Am I still here?
So, yes. Kronos had something special for you. I was just waiting for you to read it.
I don't know what that means. I'm not going to explain that.
I don't want to know what that means.
Yeah, I don't want to know what it means either, but
I enjoyed my trip to Vegas a few years ago.
Never been there. I've never been to Vegas, and honestly, my wife has wanted to go, but I really don't want to go to Vegas. And Indy Tiger,
finally, I get to say it. Thank you. Super chat. First one of the night. Oh yeah.
Jason and the Argonauts.
I like that. I like that. That's going in there.
Jason and the Argonauts. That's not bad. Dork in the Road and Salt Pillars of Space.
No, I think we have enough. Look in the private chat. Yeah. I do not have the authority to do this. I need you to make a poll.
I know you know.
Yeah, 1, I don't have access on that.
3,
channel,
4.
So
yeah. Hell, we got 4 or 5. You can either replace 3 and 4. Like 3 and 4 are kind of the same.
Yeah, so 3 and 4 are sort of the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but we got enough for a poll. Let's make it so. Make it so. Do it. Do it now.
Martin was saying something is full of member berries. I'm not sure what they're talking about there.
Yeah.
But maybe that they're talking about your place since you're.
Do what?
Oh, the memorabilia.
Oh yeah. Well, you've seen it. I'd be happy to.
Actually, well, you know what you should do is, put it all on eBay.
I don't want to deal with eBay, man. Like, I really would like to just do.
What kind of stuff are we talking about?
So, like, if I were dead, let's say I died, some guy would come do like an estate sale and sell all this stuff. Well, can't I just do that before I die? I guess.
Yeah, you could do an estate sale.
Like just like come check out.
Yeah. Actually, there's a great word for that. Just some jabroni shows up and just starts selling your crap. Right?
Yeah. What are you doing, Mike? What are we?
He's gonna do the poll.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what's kind of funny is you've got reasonable cell service, but no access to good Wi-Fi. I'm completely the other way around, where I've got the monstrous 3 gigabit, but the tower that my cell phone connects off of is something like 8 miles away. So I drop calls all the time. It's so backwards.
Why are you okay, Jason? I guess we need to fill some dead air.
Sure.
Well, sorry. You know what? I can't talk and type at the same time.
Oh no!
So freaking sue me. I'm not a good multitasker.
It's all good. So, we're still just talking about the miniseries part 2. Good Lord.
Yeah.
The frame by frame, like we've kind of talked about.
Yeah, we're probably
all kinds of things, but I really, really love the relationship between Adama and Lee, right? I got those names right?
Yeah, his son,
Yeah. They what's his first name? I guess that's kind of weird because like Lee's
Bill
Lee Adama.
Bill Adama is dad. Bill is dad and Lee is the son.
Bill and Lee.
Yeah.
Billy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really liked, but then remember, like in the series, some stuff happened, and I was like, hey, like what about that thing? And you guys were saying it was a little bit more complex. That's something we could talk about.
Yeah.
Wait for Jason to get back.
Yeah. So
Jason,
the
Mike.
Mike. So
I'm here.
One of the things that goes on much later in the series is you find out. Well, actually, the better way to put it, without really spoiling things, is
hold up, Mike. You did that wrong. You left like you put the two similar names up, and you left off the other name that was different.
I know. Well, I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll
Fix
cancel
it.
that one. I don't know if you can edit a poll or if you.
I don't either.
Let's see. Nope,
Yeah,
you have to just end it. Sorry, guys. Although Jason and the Argue Nuts was running away with it. Looks like.
Well, no, it was tied with
Salty and the Nuts.
Was Salty and the Nuts.
All right. So
And
sorry,
Salty
guys.
Nuts.
I
Yeah,
just-
we don't need Salty Nuts. Get rid of that one. Salty and the Nuts. It was Retrospectacle, Jason and the Argonauts, and then First Spectacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. I apologize. I did that wrong. That's on me.
Round 2.
All right. So keep talking while and stop trying to distract me by getting me to talk and type.
Sorry.
All right. So you don't type. You don't talk. Just type. We'll just mute you.
Yeah. So
So without getting into spoiler territory, imagine how in real life you get families that tend to become military families, but not everybody really wanted to be, a carry on the tradition thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the take that starts to get expanded on. But I don't want to tell you anything more than that because there's some absolutely spectacular episode. And I know it's terrible because every time we say this, everything is a spectacular episode because freaking everything is in this show. It's just so good. There's these episodes where you see Lee break away from what his father seemingly, and it's just some of the best acted, and it's just it just goes right deep into the heart of that whole problem of I can't pick a best episode. For me, it's like there's too many good things that cross multiple episodes, like story arcs and stories within a story.
Okay, does that look correct to you before I hit ask?
First Spectacle, Jason and the Argonauts, Retrospectacle, and Salty and the Nuts. Yeah.
yeah, those are the
there we go.
Yes, those are them. Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Let the mob have its say.
Yes, that's okay. Come on, guys, vote. Make it so. Let's see what happens here. All right, now that we got your full attention, sir, let's get back into this this review. Pull up your little.
All right, so did you so you think 6 is probably real in the sense that she's some kind of implant in his head or something?
I mean, clearly she's not there. I don't think it's like a mental illness hallucination kind of thing. I think it's something external, whether it was
He is actually interacting with something.
Yes, that's what I think.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, and so meanwhile, Adama and Leva, and I gotta say, and man, every time we have a scene that focuses in on Edward James Olmos's Adama, it's just gold. He just acts the crap out of everything he's in.
Uh-oh.
And
people in my 1 second. People in my chat. I'm putting the link there now. Please hop over and vote in the poll for the name.
Oh yeah. Because if you're watching it over on,
if you're watching my channel, you don't see the poll. So I just put the link in the chat.
hanging chads. Well, Andy, you're aging yourself a bit with that,
Right?
Oh man.
And Kronos, we're not going to talk about Rolaren. Danny does know that Rolaren is in this show, but he doesn't know anything about her character. So
And they got mad at me when I was like, "Oh wow, Rolaren's in it," and they were like, "Stop looking stuff up."
Because so help me, if someone spoils it, I have a special set of skills.
Yeah.
You got a particular set of skills.
Yeah.
Gorilla wants
Well,
to
for me, it's
redo his
special
vote.
because it's
I'm
Canada.
not redoing the poll, Gorilla. Your vote is final.
Yes, yeah, we're not redoing.
Even if it's not what I wanted you to vote for, I'm not redoing it again. Dang it! All right, so Adama and Leben get trapped inside part of the station. Meanwhile, we see on an agricultural ship the president touring a facility and meets a sweet little girl. Just a sweet, sweet little girl who I'm sure will be just fine because no TV show would do anything bad to a sweet little girl. Because, you want hanging chads. Well, hanging chads is not an option.
It's not there, man. And we don't allow write-ins or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are your choices. Pick from one, please. Come on.
Well, he already voted, so yeah.
Yeah, he's just regretting his vote now.
Okay.
And so now this is what the first time that Laura Roslin acts truly presidential. She has to make the incredibly difficult decision. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's interesting you paused it here. Look at her. I don't know if you can zoom in, but look at this poor woman's face. She is doing so much acting just with her face.
Just sitting.
A lot of people don't realize she is the perfect counter to Edward James Olmos. She and he steal every scene they're both in.
They really do, but I'm just saying, like, God, man, like, right, you can't see what I'm, like, if you could focus in on this part of her face, like, she's doing some serious acting, and it's, like, it makes me feel for this character, because, like, she just looks, like, hopelessly, miserably sad, like in just...
Well, and that's why I was just getting to what she just did.
Yeah.
And so for those of you that don't realize what's going on, that she just made her first truly difficult presidential decision where basically
she sends people to death, basically.
Yeah. She says we need to warp away despite the fact that a bunch of the ships don't have jump drives, which means they can't go with them. And the Cylons are on their way, which means that when they jump away, the people they leave behind are going to die. No bones about it. They are killing those people because they're jumping away before they evacuate those ships.
They're leaving. Yeah, I mean, like, whether they pull the trigger, it's kind of like in Batman where he's like, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you either. And then he leaves.
Which, by the way, is negligent homicide. But that's another thing. That's it's just saying. You do.
That's a whole other problem.
How's the poll doing? I don't know how to check it.
I'll go to it in a few minutes before we wrap up. We'll save that as a surprise for the end.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I'm curious. I voted. You guys have to vote. Don't not vote.
Oh,
I can't vote because I created the poll.
Oh, that's right. Because because he's the channel dude.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well,
I'll tell you my vote. I'll tell you what, I'll reserve my vote if there's a tie.
Okay, fair enough. I dig it.
So you're the Speaker of the House.
Okay, I dig it. yeah.
It's better than pregnant chats.
Hey, is that a super chat?
It is. Thank you, Indy. Indy's feeling generous today. And by the way, Indy is also a supporter over at Onyx and Zircon, the Patreon.
Indy, you got here kind of late. I didn't. So I'm curious because I don't have access to his Patreon. And if you watch the Patreon, like, I would really love your feedback on if, like, because I forget it's recording and they're like 2-3 hours long. And I'd like to know if you genuinely enjoy it. Like, I know that sounds weird, but
if you enjoy watching him suffer. That's sweet. I don't know if he's watched it all yet because there is a lot there. Now, granted, I don't have them all up there yet, but
I don't know what
I just have the first two. I have I'm
going
to put up.
Shit, that's got to be 5-6 hours of content. So that's pretty.
Pretty
like
close. It's like 3 hours content.
Is it okay?
Yeah. But I also have up there Plan 9 from Outer Space for people to watch, and I'm going to be putting some other random content. And for people that support at the VIP level, they can actually access my Plex server, so they can actually watch some fun stuff there. Which I'm not going to advertise what all's
again,
there.
You guys,
cool stuff there.
It's not fair. Both of you, on other shows I'm on or channels or whatever, when there's a comment, I want to show up on the screen, I just click on the comment and then it shows up on the screen. I can't do that with you guys, and it's so frustrating. So I have to Stan Lee's comment should be on the screen because it's funny. Come on, man.
I can't make everybody. I can't give everybody access. I'm sorry. I only have.
He's referring to wrestling. Let me tell you something. Sunday, every Sunday at 11 a.m.
Oops. I don't know what happened there.
Some dirty pool.
Sorry.
Dirty pool.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw is ready.
While you guys were talking there, I jumped off, and something I only learned about on Metacritic a few days ago is they actually have a collective career scores for people in film and TV, whether that they're in front of the camera or behind. Mm-hmm. And I just brought up Mary McConnell's career score, and she's got a 62 on Metacritic, which is a very solid score.
Well, she's been in a lot of stuff.
That's the name of the...
Yeah. And keep in mind,
Okay.
she's been in incredibly serious, dramatic stuff as well as silly popcorn movies.
She was in
Independence Day. And
she was in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey...
Yeah.
We know Pepsi.
Way too long, or I drink way too much. No, I'm gonna go grab the other bottle. I'll be back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
how much of the show is left? Well, we are about a third of the way into it.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we're not going to
we're definitely going to probably accelerate quickly through some of the stuff because frame by frame at this point.
Trying to say, so she just gave the presidential order to basically do something that was going to kill all these people, including that sweet little girl we just saw a few minutes ago. And she knows that sweet little girl is going to die because of her decision. And hey, LDG, to say the miniseries is not bad is, I think, an understatement. But the nice thing is that, as I've said before,
he did say not bad at all, which is
that's true.
A slippery way of saying it was damn good.
Yeah, but again, it's the nice thing about it is that it's as bad as the series gets, which is to say that the series never really is bad. And so the Cylons, are jumping in just as the civilian ships are jumping out, and so the president makes the right call. There's no doubt about the fact that the president made the right and necessary call. But that doesn't mean it was the the easy call,
And the writing in the show was spot on about how they handled it too, because one of the radio calls was, "I hope you burn in hell."
Yeah. As far as was the miniseries better than the plan or Chrome, I would say the miniseries was definitely better than the plan. I would say it was, Blood and Chrome needed a little. I just rewatched Blood and Chrome. It's not as good as I remembered, to be honest. So I would put the miniseries about on par with Blood and Chrome. I think Blood and Chrome tries to overdo it with Flash, where the miniseries doesn't. But Blood and Chrome and the miniseries I put about on par with each other. But I think the Blood and Chrome would have been a better series overall.
Yeah, it could have been really good, but I would say the miniseries is still top.
Yeah. Caprica is absolute crap. If you have not seen Caprica, consider yourself lucky and don't.
Yeah, just don't even bother.
And so here they're all jumping away, and so here you see the civilian fleet. As it stands before the jump, and some of them are jumping around, and then you see the Cylons launching missiles at the ships that are still there. And I like that. Please don't be honest. Just lie to us.
Just lie to us. Yeah.
And Martin, please don't say anything about spoilers. We don't want spoilers discussed because Danny has not seen anything far beyond what we've already discussed. He's only seen 3 episodes into the original, into this series so far.
Yeah, into season 1 of the
Yeah.
series. Yeah.
So we can start discussing spoilers after he's seen it all, but we'll let you know when we've reached that point. It's not a teaser. That's a spoiler. It's not a teaser.
Yeah.
that's a way more than a teaser.
Yeah.
And so no, you didn't spoil anything, Kronos. But so if you want me to lie to you, then I would say, yeah, watch Caprica. It's freaking awesome. There's your lie. And famous Bear says almost McDonald, Sackhoff, and Heffler made this show one of the shows. One I assume one of the best shows I've ever seen. Whatever happened to Edward James Olmos? Well, Edward James Olmos has got a great career if you look it over. But I don't know. I think at this point he's kind of retired. I mean, he's pretty old.
Yeah, he did a season of Dexter. I didn't watch because I found Dexter was getting a little wonky after a while. But
after season 4,
but
Dexter
I'm sure
really
he
lost his way.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that Edward did his very best, but yeah, for me it just fell off, so I didn't keep up with it. Yeah, he kind of actually, just looking through here real quick, he just seemed to go off and do a lot of narration and voices.
Yeah, and it's probably just because, I mean, the man is, what's his age? Can you see?
That is an excellent question.
I'm assuming he's
born in 47, so that puts him at
almost 80 then.
75, 76.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's a little old to be
old.
doing active work. So I could see voiceover work is fairly easy to do on the body because he can just be sitting down in the studio, and he's got a great voice for it. If he's doing voiceovers, great, keeping active, that kind of thing. But if he doesn't, at this point, 74 years old, if he wants to retire, let him be retired.
Yeah, no kidding.
That would be my opinion. It's like people that keep wanting William Shatner to reprise Kirk. The man is 90 plus. Let him be retired. Yeah.
He's in some show called Mayans MC now.
Yeah. And look, man. So this is just like.
Oh, yeah, that's so grim. I remember Danny's like, man, they're going to kill that little girl. He's like, yep.
Yep. And she's just like playing with her little dolly. Yeah, let the little dolly. And just having a nice day. Oops, and she's dead.
Everything will be perfectly not good.
Yeah. So that's just like brutal. Because one thing you never do in a show is kill little kids on screen.
Yeah, that's a rule that nobody's been brazen enough to actually cross. Not HBO, nobody.
Yeah, and yet here they are doing it, and they knew.
Well, no, but they.
I mean,
do it off screen though. It's
they. I mean, they fade to white to kind of imply that's the nuclear blast, right? I mean, granted, it would have been like if an instant white would have been more realistic, right? But and you're right, Stanley. Hurt animals is another big one. But harming little children, that's huge.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that they nuked this little girl in the miniseries was intentional, I think, to show you that they were not kidding around as far as.
Are we not live anymore? Why is the screen white?
The screen's white because that's the nuclear explosion that killed the little girl.
They managed to pause it right on it.
Oh man.
Yeah, see, that we was just talking about how that was brutal.
Dude, that was dark, man. Like,
yeah.
that was
probably the darkest moment of this show.
That was
of this episode.
So, oh my God, that's why she had that look on her face, because you skipped over that stuff. Like, she interacted.
Yeah,
because
she had made the decision that was going to
promise that child that she would get her.
Yeah.
And then she made the order to kill that child, and they cut it. Oh my God, that was so.
Yeah.
I thought
what
that
I also
was the
really
one
liked
where
about
I
that
turned
was
my camera off. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
The fact that it showed that she had to deal with the fact that this.
By the
is
way,
what
you're Cyloning a little.
when
Did you
make
touch the butt?
me.
Yeah.
Oh no, but
You
it
are
means that I
Cyloning,
didn't
Jason.
do any good.
You're crackling.
Yeah, well, there goes my test.
Oh wow,
Sad panda.
Alexandra Brooks, your wit is on point. It was not dark. It was in fact light.
In this case, there was only one light.
Bro.
That was pretty bad there.
In LDG, I agree. Snapping the baby's neck was dark, but it took.
But that was in part one.
it.
I said it in this episode. That was the darkest moment.
Yeah, but you guys got to remember, or in LDG, maybe you weren't here. It took a rewatch and them convincing me on the stream. I thought she did it on accident at first, like it was a Mice and Men Lenny thing, and then they were like, no, and then I rewatched it, and it was more of her like actually showing mercy. I think is how you put it, right, Jason?
Right.
Yeah.
She wanted to put the baby out of its misery before the nukes dropped.
Yeah.
So then the president gets to meet Colonel Ty. I do love Rosalind and Ty's relationship because Ty clearly has no respect for her. And she has no respect for him. But because of the fact that basically Adama is going to follow protocol, Ty is forced to.
We have 25 people watching the show. We have 23 thumbs up, but we only have 18 votes. Please vote in the poll. And if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And
Martin,
go to saltytrekkerpatreon.com to sign up for his Patreon. Now you got to buy that domain name. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, you know what? You're a jerk. I'll tell you what. Once I get the money this month from the super chats, then I'll send you the money to get that set up.
I don't want it in my name. I'll walk you through it.
Well, no, you said you would do it. You said you would do it, so I'm going to make you do it.
Oh no, you want it in your name. You
I
don't
want
wanna
it to
get into
be
a
in your
weird-
name, bro. I mean, I'll do it for you, but like you got to do it.
I don't, but
it's in your name and stuff. Yeah.
Can everyone in the panel just speak through spinning fan blades, please? Is that what it sounds like right now?
Oh, am I still going?
Sorry.
How much does a Blu-ray player cost? Nothing nowadays.
I don't know.
I mean, my
$100.
PlayStation plays Blu-rays. I just assume like everybody has a PlayStation. So
Martin says, no spoilers, but we know what happens when the military and the president disagree here. Yeah. But that just becomes that's like the running theme of the entire series moving forward. It's like they very rarely agree, which I love. I do, and something I've said and if you ever watch the full length extended first watch parties that we have over on the Patreon, you'll see I say to Danny over and over, now imagine if this was Chakotay
Janeway,
and Janeway, that's
and dude, it is like but it's because of Ronald D. Moore. I mean, there's so many like you can like he's said it a lot, folks. Like and he's right every time. It's like it would be a way better, a more dynamic relationship if they'd have done Janeway and Chakotay like they do Adama and Rosalind.
Yeah.
Did I get those names right?
Yes, you did. And Brian, yes, in the original BSG, they did have a civilian government, the Council of 12, but unfortunately, Adama was the leader of the council, which was stupid. So he was not only the military leader, but he was also the leader of the civilian government. So, So there was no disagreement on the original series, but I don't want to spoil too much of that because Danny hasn't seen the original series.
Yeah, please, guys, no spoilers. Come on,
Yeah.
man, come on.
But yes, that's a problem.
Show a little class. Don't be.
And yes, Kronos, check out on Amazon. Anybody that's interested in that box set, definitely check it out.
Hey, man, you know what? Let's do let's make it easy for him. Put the link in the private chat, and I'll put it in mine, or you put it in your chat, and then I'll also put.
All right,
it
yeah, no, I'll grab it real quick. Go to Amazon.
You should apply for an Amazon affiliates link.
So I have one.
I
what I'm
should.
going to do.
Okay. Well, that's why.
What I'm going to do is take his link and get because literally I love it. Amazon makes it so easy. There's a bar every time, and just because I've had it for
yeah. If I give you the link, then you can turn it into your affiliate.
I just
link.
click on the link, and then I have a little bar. It was like, get my affiliate link. I click that, and then that's what I share.
That's cool. So yeah, so this will give him a couple of bucks, which means that then he'll pay for the Salty Tricker.
They have a threshold. I've only gotten one direct deposit from them in like almost 20
years.
Yeah,
I've tried the affiliate link before, and then I realized, this ain't worth it. So you should have it there. Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it. I got it. I'm getting it.
All right.
Yeah, see? All I got to do, get link, text. Copy.
So yeah, on Blu-ray it's $63.94. On DVD it's $57.01. Don't be a cheapskate. Just get the frickin' Blu-ray.
There you go. I put it. Did that work for you guys? Did you see it?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, good. All right, good.
It's a / Amazon.
I'll make like a nickel off of that. It doesn't matter, but
well, hey,
that's how you do it.
Is better than So if 1,000 of you purchase it, well, of course, we don't have 1,000 people watching, but if you tell all your friends and they tell all their friends, then eventually Danny will make like $3.
Yeah. And no, that's what I'm serious. So the threshold is you got to get at least $100 payment.
So it's like the way Google.
Same way Google does it
forever.
So when Google wasn't so stingy with who would qualify, when you had Google AdSense, it was the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
you had to hit $100 USD before you could actually get a withdrawal.
For me, with exactly the combination of ad revenue, super chats, and super chats, it has to add up to over $100 before Google will pay me.
So I guess maybe that's just industry standard then.
Well, but you see that's different than like for going off the rails again, but it's different. Oh, hi, Cece. Is it time for another one?
She does not look entertained. I think I'm in trouble. I don't know what's going on.
Is he in trouble, Cece? She probably saw you doing something bad on the show.
Don't say that. I didn't do anything bad on the show.
Yes, you did. You did several. No. Oh, Matt Vader says we're all Cylons. Hey, Matt. Good to see you, buddy.
Matt.
Yeah, if we try really hard and mess up our computers, we all get to sound like Cylons. Yeah.
I'm still waiting to see why Danny's in trouble.
I don't know. She just walked off. That's even scarier. Like when they don't tell.
Well, you need to go check with her first. Go ahead.
No. We need to.
No, dude. Hey, I don't.
We're
want
already
you
like
to get
50 minutes overtime. We need to finish this.
I don't want you to get a kick in the Cylons just because you stayed on for another 5 minutes. So go check with her, make sure everything's okay, and then come back.
Okay,
go ahead.
boss.
Go.
All right. Okay.
Jeez. Some people don't understand how to girlfriend. I mean, am I the only one that understands? It's not that. Look, people say women. Shut up, Vader. People say women are complicated. Women are not complicated. Men are stupid.
That sometimes tends to be a problem.
If a girl comes in looking like that, you don't just keep talking and ignore her. You say, "Hey guys, I'll be right back." And then you go find out what's going on. Make sure everything's okay before you sit back down. You don't be a dumbass like Danny. Oh, hi, Danny.
What? Look, I did what you asked. Okay.
And how is she okay?
No.
Did you do something bad?
No. It's just Pedro. Finish your show. We'll talk after. Like that's
Okay.
all I could get. So I don't know. And she just slammed the door. I don't know, man. I'm in trouble for something. I don't know what I did. I must have done something. So let's just have fun. I don't want to worry about that right now.
Do I need to text her? No.
Maybe. You
That's
know,
that's a
not
later
now.
problem.
Yeah.
I'll check if you want. You know.
No. Let's just go with that's a
Oh,
later
hey, no, like
problem
look
for
at Vader's.
now. I see it. I saw it.
Yeah. No. Amen. Yeah. Yeah. Amen.
I don't know how she puts up with Danny, to be honest. But you know, at the same time, you know, yeah, it's
Man,
amazing.
do you know how insane? So, if I may, and mostly because Vader, you're here.
Don't try to say how awesome you are, because that's right.
No. I'm talking about the
Okay.
fact that I have to move. And for the first time in like literally decade, I'm looking at possibly apartment life, which I do not like. So if anybody in the Vegas area has any leads on like decently priced, because rent is insane out here, man. My God,
Rent is insane everywhere.
it's like $2,000 a month to rent 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
That's insane. What it was like.
Welcome
1,000
to the
bedrooms?
United States in 2023, dude.
Welcome to North America in 2023.
You know, there are literally, I mean, no
hate
joke.
money.
There are literally people living on cruise ships right now because it's cheaper to take month-long cruises than it is to pay rent.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. How
Is that
defective?
real?
Yeah. Seriously, how defective is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, granted, you know, you're kind of, you know, you're living in a, you know, 150 square foot room.
Yeah, you're in a
with no
you're in a
windows.
shoebox and
You
you've
know,
basically
but
got
wait a
no
minute. Well,
internet.
hold up, though. No. If you're on a cruise ship, you get free food.
Yeah,
you get
but
free
the,
booze,
you,
you get free
internet's
entertainment.
pretty spendy.
Yeah, you
Shit
don't
on
get
internet.
yeah,
like,
your
like,
internet's
like if I can watch
if you get
showgirls
internet,
and
it's
gamble
suck.
and swim and do all like you know, cruises have all kinds of crap.
You're
that's
not.
included,
It's not.
you know?
First of all, you have to be making good money for it. It's not like we're talking about compared to living in the crappy apartments. Okay, it's compared to living in a decent apartment, and you know,
Martin. I've told this story before. I spent a summer living in a Winnebago with my oldest son, and it was probably the best summer of our lives. Like he'd probably tell you the same thing to this day. The mole people under the strip have vacancies, bro. Fuck you, Vader. Wow. Okay, I see. how it
wow,
is.
Oh, can't you,
You know what?
feel
Yeah.
the love tonight?
Yeah, no, it's fine. He's my arch nemesis. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's the Lex Luthor to my Superman, or vice versa.
I think you're more the Lex Luthor.
That's what I say. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, even here, so even just actually like 5 minutes from my house,
Yeah.
2-bedroom apartment on a bus route, $1,600 a month.
See, that's I could swing 16. You know, I could do that. But
But I mean, that's like in the middle
still
of
a lot.
you know,
No, it sucks. You know,
very
like,
ruralish type Canada city. You know, it's not at all big.
No,
Everything's
Kronos, I'm not
defective right
supposed
now.
to say naughty words here. Although, if you go watch the 2 videos he uploaded, your use of
If you do
beep,
get the full
you know,
it
was
Unleash
good.
Danny in if you watch the Patreon version, they are uncensored.
But your YouTube uploads, like
The YouTube uploads are censored, but
no, and I need
yeah.
you to teach me how to do that. I love the bleeps because I want to.
Well, did you talk to the one person about the thing?
Huh?
Did you talk to the one person about the thing that we talked about?
Oh yes,
yesterday?
the thing. That
The
might have
thing that
something
you were
to
supposed to
do-
talk to the one person about. That you were supposed to talk to the one person about the thing that you were going to get to me.
with you know.
Remember the
potentially,
thing that you were going to get from the one person to get to me. Then I was going to talk to you about
mud
the
houses. You know.
Wow, you are so dense sometimes. Why would I not be saying it? You said you can't say the thing when we're live. So what did you say that I couldn't say that we were live?
Private chat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me go to private chat. Because I'm so clueless. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but Brian. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then you
just
okay, blurt it out. Good job, buddy. Good job. Hope nobody heard that.
So Brian's asking me. I see I'm tagged. He says, "Hey, Danny, at this point in the series, would you rather be a Cylon or a human?" I don't know, but either way, I hope I'm banging a Cylon because those two chicks are fine. Oh my god. It's like every hot person's going to end up being a Cylon by the time it's over.
Hey, ain't wrong about that. But anyway, so no, I'm kidding.
Man. Oh, okay. Vader
Anyway,
says we are all
you just-
Cylons. So right on.
Yeah, I read that like 20 minutes ago, and you still haven't answered my question
What's that?
about the thing.
Oh, no, I haven't talked to him. I'm sorry.
Well, then I can't, and I'm not helping you with the bleep until you help me with the thing.
Oh, I understood.
Yeah, okay. I'll help you with the bleep when you help me with the thing. Okay.
The bleeping thing.
Yeah. All right. So back to that was the weirdest conversation ever.
It sounded like we were like mobsters talking about, the thing in the place with the guy, at the place.
We got a guy in the thing. Well, in case somebody's got a wire, we got to be careful about what we're saying.
Right? That's exactly what that was.
All right. So moving on, Roslin meets Ty. Ty hates Roslin. Roslin hates Ty. Starbuck is lying down for some reason. Leoben is, slowly degenerating. And then gets into a massive fight with Edward James Olmos. And what's the lesson learned? Do not F with Edward James Olmos because he will beat your butt into a bulkhead.
I got a question. Are these, because I keep seeing so many, I know this has come up a lot, whether it's on the Patreon or on these, where I see so many parallels to Picard season 3 with the show. And I've watched him in the reverse release order. So is he like a changeling? Like the longer he's like what was the explanation for his weakness? Was it like the equivalent of being away from the Great Link?
No.
It's
falling
it's
apart
the radiation.
Here. Yeah, because the radiation and the
storm from the storm, right?
Yeah. The nebula around the station is letting out radiation that decays Cylon tissue.
You know what? Now that I think about it, they never explain that. Why?
Yes, they absolutely do.
Oh no, they do. They do.
Okay,
the Leoben character actually says to the effect that
it's Adama that figures it out. He says that the radiation is breaking down whatever you call your neurons.
But
Leoben he says it to the guy.
Leoben says it to Adama. He says you guys figured out that whatever's in this storm, this is why you put this here.
Oh yeah, because their old tech was susceptible to it, so their new tech is susceptible to it.
It's still susceptible
to it.
That's
how he. So as far as how did he know Stanley? So Cylon tech has always been susceptible to this type of radiation. So like the Centurions are susceptible to it every bit as much as Leoben is. It's just that, but it does take a while. So it takes they figure hours or maybe even days before it would really take a huge effect, but Leoben's been trapped there for a long time, and that's also what clues Adama in that Leoben's a Cylon because the radiation's melting his brain basically. Now that's also what this is, while this is technically not in this episode, since Danny's already seen this, I can talk about it. That becomes the basis for Baltar's Cylon detector, is the fact that Cylon DNA can break down under certain types of radiation.
How did he get so lucky though, calling BS? He actually got a real Cylon. You know,
He just
that was
he needed a scapegoat. That guy was on the bridge, and so he's like, "Hey, that guy's a Cylon." Yeah,
but he was a
remember,
Cylon. That's the crazy thing. I was like, how lucky.
But
like, that guy needs the strip right now and play poker or something. Like,
well, first of all, he does. He shows that he'd be a great poker player when he played poker with the poker master Starbuck. But not only that, if you notice that in that scene with the Cylon gadget and everything on the bridge,
right on. We got 23 votes in the poll. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
And, but we remember we get a conversation with Head 6 in there, and Head 6 is helping him along the way with that, which means that assuming you're right, assuming Head 6 is not just his, I'm not spoiling anything.
Gotcha.
So assuming for a second that Head 6 is something outside of him.
Yeah.
Right. Then maybe somebody else told him he's a Cylon. Somebody that knew he's a Cylon. Somebody that's trying to help him with something. Or maybe there's a higher, maybe there is a bigger plan to all this.
Yeah. He's being nudged. He's not lucky so much as he's being nudged in the right direction.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can see that.
So it's not all just luck. And speaking of which,
CM Punk, luck is for losers.
Yeah. So and here's that scene where 6 is just basically like, look around, dude. Yes, we know you think she's hot. That's probably why you're in trouble, by the way.
I think so.
You need to stop. You need to stop having your jaw on the floor every time she's on the screen.
You've never gone too far. I just think if she saw any of the repetitiousness of it, maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
but you've never gone too far.
I've even told you my wife is mad at you for it.
Dude, she's gorgeous, though.
Yes, shut up. Okay, do we need to stop watching the show?
It's gonna be like the most. No.
Okay, so
I'll watch it without you if you do. I mean,
she is a bit skinny. I would agree. She's not my type, but she is for a what would you call her, a blonde bombshell type? I would say she's very attractive for a blonde bombshell.
Mom's in the chat. She can attest to this.
I am. We're going fast here, and so
never mind.
Okay, here's your scene right here.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, this got me.
Yeah, when he gets back on board Galactica.
Yeah. So when Adama actually, after he takes out Leoben, and he meets up with Lee, and this is basically the first admission that he cares about the fact that his son is alive. Right. Dude, and keep in mind, so this isn't a reconciliation of all their issues. This is just Commander Adama realizing that his son is not dead.
He hugs and push play. It gets better. Like, well, I don't want you to get claimed. Pause.
Yeah.
But see, look, there you go. That's where I wanted you to pause it.
Yeah.
That's the moment that got me. When
Lee's hugging
the hug and he closed his eyes and this
is a great father-son moment. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And so but and where you got a little confused where they were still having issues, but remember, this is not them reconciling their differences. This is them just both being thankful that the other is still alive.
Yeah, I get that. I get it.
Right. Because this is the first time they've seen each other since the apocalypse.
Right.
Well, and also since him thinking that they were dead.
That his ship got nuked.
The nuke, the EMP fake out.
Yeah, and especially, considering the interaction in the first half of the miniseries was, how's your ship?
Stan Lee's got it right. Yeah. If I could share comments, Stan Lee.
They still have issues, just happy their family is alive. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so this is a great moment, but it's not the end of their issues.
I got you.
So
what he's talking about, again, if you go to his Patreon,
we talk about that a little because Danny got confused.
Yeah. So
all right, so then Gaius, and then this is where Starbuck confesses about Zach.
Yeah, this was so like, why? Like, why?
Well, she even
And, oh
says
my-
it's the end of the world, so she figured she should confess her sins.
Fair enough, man.
That's
yeah,
that.
that
Well,
was just like,
and
like,
from
show
a,
his
a
reaction.
completely
Pause on his reaction.
Well, I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
If it's at the right.
let it play and then we'll see.
I mean, I'm probably already going to
Don't get claimed, man. Stop.
No,
Yeah.
there's no audio.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
Well,
that.
they
Look
hit
at that's
it.
like
What?
look at his eyes, man. That's like
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I say
Yeah.
everybody on this show brings their absolute A game as far as acting. Jamie Bamber, who I've met and had a really, really, I spent almost an entire day with Jamie Bamber. No joke, just hanging out with the guy, him and Trucco, who plays the character we haven't been introduced to yet, Michael Trucco. These guys, they brought it all, and they were being paid substandard wages for what they were doing. They knew
Stan,
it.
that's a great question, man. Look it up.
but
I don't
they
know.
were-
I was asking the exact same thing because this dude, I've brought it up a lot. on
Oh,
the
Jamie
live
Bamber, he's
show.
been in a lot of UK
Yeah.
productions, not much on our side of the river.
He's good in this. Like I've met quite a bit on the Patreon content. Like he's good. You know.
And yeah, I absolutely, and like I said, talking to Jamie himself, he really wanted to get into Hollywood stuff, but it just was, he is British. And it's very funny because you wouldn't think so.
Really? Oh man! So like in real life, he's got a British accent.
Oh, he's got a very
he's
English
super
accent.
British.
Yeah.
Man, that kills it. It's like that
In
first
fact,
time
remember,
I heard Henry Cavill talk.
My son speaks with an English accent, and so
Hey,
I haven't
speaking of
actually
your progeny, your daughter's a huge flake. Tell her to call me. She kept she's broken every.
she says you're a huge flake, so
Oh
sorry.
wow, wow! It's all a matter of perspective. Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
I'm gonna text her
I'll
right
text
now.
her now.
So, yeah. Let's see. Because she texted me a little while ago, and when she didn't know that we were streaming. Danny,
This is riveting television, folks.
you are a huge. That's funny. The suggested word is inspiration.
So this is the last text I got from her. Saturday, April 29th, 4:06 p.m. my time, Pacific. LOL, L-A-W-L. I'm guessing that's kind of like laugh out loud-ish.
Yeah.
I actually got called
She does
into
that a lot.
work, but I can call you on my walk there. Will be around 4:35. Does that work? She sends this at 4:06 p.m. So she's saying, hey, in 19 minutes, I can call you. And I see the message.
Well, you don't have
Like
to
an
tell
hour
the
later.
internet this. I told her
Okay.
to call you. All right. So anyway,
Yeah. I'm old, man. Don't text me. Call me. Just
you're not that old. I text with her, and I'm older than you.
I hate texting, dude. Like
Anyway.
everybody that. Okay.
I know. We get it. Now let me tell my story about my son's accent. That's what got you talking about my daughter. So my son speaks with an English accent. The reason my son speaks with an accent is because we moved from Oregon on the West Coast, which I speak with a typical West Coast accent. We moved to the American South, where everybody talks like this, y'all. And so my son, who is autistic, was terrified that he was going to pick up a Southern accent. Because he hates the Southern accent. He thinks it's disgusting and horrible. It makes people sound stupid. And so, that's just his. Hold on. That's just his opinion on the Southern accent.
No.
And-
There's something funny about what you're saying, the Southern English accents. But go ahead.
Yeah. So he said, Dad, do I have to speak with a Southern accent? I said, no, you absolutely do not. You can just continue to speak with your, West Coast accent. And so, anyway, so then shortly after we moved here, we went to a Comic-Con, which is where we met William Shatner. My wife and I have a picture with him, and William Shatner was awesome, but that's a whole other story. And that's also, by the way, where I spent over half the day of day one of Comic-Con hanging out with Jamie Bamber and Michael Trucco. Me and Lore Reloaded were actually hanging out together. We were doing something for the channel that we were running together at the time for YouTube. And we were filming people, and we actually had Jamie and Michael record intros for our videos. And then we just hung out with them because they had nobody wanting their autographs because everybody was going to get Jonathan Frakes and LeVar Burton and William Shatner and all the Star Trek guys. Hey guys. And so they were, nobody wanted to see Jamie Bamber and Michael Trucco. So we just got to hang out with them without, anybody wanting to talk to them. And while we were talking to them, just having a great time. And then we finished up our day.
Salty, Marty Devin wants to know if your foot's okay. There's all those names you're dropping. Comment?
That's not what he said. That was your thing. I saw what he said, and that's why I was confused. Anyway, so then the next day, and this was actually just a fun moment for me. The next day I was not hanging out with Laura. This was the day that my wife and I got our picture taken with William Shatner and stuff. But my wife and my son were walking the floor of Comic-Con together, just shopping around. And Jamie Bamber and Michael Trucco just finished an autograph session and were being escorted by the security off the floor. And they were walking the opposite direction of us. And I happened to just lock eyes with Jamie Bamber for a second, right? And no big deal. Just like when you're looking around the room. And Jamie actually looked at me and said, "Oh, hello, Michael," because he remembered me. And so he stopped the security and came over to us. And so I actually had the opportunity to go, "Oh, honey, Bridget, this is Jamie Bamber, an actor from Battlestar Galactica. Michael Trucco, another actor from Battlestar Galactica. Jamie, Michael, this is my wife, Bridget, and my son, Joshua." And so Jamie's shaking my son Joshua's hand, and my son immediately goes, "You have an accent." And Jamie's like, "Well, so do you," and so that's when, and from that moment, my son began learning and adapting an English accent. And so, because he really liked Jamie's accent, and he also was a big fan of Doctor Who, and so he started learning the English accent. And my son, to this day, speaks with a flawless English accent and cannot any longer speak with an American accent. So,
Salty,
yes,
your people are calling you out. Apparently, you've spun this tale before. It's a rerun. You're rerunning. Did you have a memory issue? Because Kronos says.
I don't think I told the story about the fact that my son had, well, whatever. Maybe I mentioned it before. I don't remember mentioning it.
Oh, it would have been a long time back. This is only the second time I've heard it.
And you heard it when we weren't streaming.
Exactly.
I knew you heard it before. But
anyway, look at this really dude's face. Let's get back to the.
But Jamie, Jamie. Just told Jamie Bamber's a great actor and should have been a bigger success than he was in America, which is too bad.
Well, I do want to talk about this scene though, because
should have been in the MCU.
He was pissed at his dad, like his whole life, basically, because he thought his dad was the reason his brother.
Not his whole life, but the last couple.
Well, certainly since the
life.
incident with his brother,
since his adult life. So. Yeah. Now he's like, wait a minute, it wasn't my dad's fault, it was yours,
Exactly. Yeah. And they've been best friends this whole time.
Yeah. And so it's like, whoa, like this was, weighty stuff.
Yeah.
Brian is asking a question about your son.
Yes, Brian, what he did was he studied the English accent. And so he purposely learned the inflections and he purposely practiced the inflections. And so that's why,
Kronos says this show is never gonna end.
No, we're getting there.
This is the show that never ends.
So then on Baltar's assertion, they arrest Doral, and there he's like, huh? And by the way, okay, here is the secret of secrets for everybody. I hope everybody's listening. And only a few of you are going to get this. All right. So this is the insider of insiders jokes. All right. Doral, the person being arrested, who, Gaius Baltar, accused of being a Cylon on false pretenses, but it turns out is actually a Cylon agent. Right. Doral, who is a secret Cylon, is played by actor Matthew Bennett. Now, I am not making that up. You can look it up. You can see in the credits of the show. You can look on IMDb. 100% accurate statement.
The never-ending live stream.
Yeah. Hey, you don't get to sing that unless he super chats. No. You better, you're muting. All right. So we'll see if anybody actually gets what I just said. And hopefully Thomas is still here. All right, so then so this is where Gaius uses the excuse of them arresting him for them to poke around the bridge and find the Cylon device. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" Now, of course, the funny thing is that which this is a great moment for him. Look at that face. Because the funny thing is, while he knows he's a Cylon agent and he knows that he's kind of busted, at the same time, it is absolutely true that he may have nothing to do with the planting of that device.
Right. Yeah, like he actually legit may not have been the one that did it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So that's
because from the episodes I've seen, there's at least two more, because you got Boomer, this dude, and there's at least another one besides Boomer that from what I can tell, just from
exactly.
We know there are 12 models out there.
Yeah.
And Kronos, we're not talking about who is or isn't a Cylon, because that would be spoilers, and Danny doesn't know any of this. So,
I'm only on episode 3, guys.
We get Starbuck flying her Viper to the perimeter of the nebula to kind of see if the Cylons are anywhere nearby, which I love this. She's just like, okay, well, let's take a peek. And
I like that establishment shot, even though it looked like it was out of a Buzz Lightyear Pixar movie. I'll forgive it because of the age.
Oh, with when she's thrusting to kind of pivot.
Yeah, I dug that.
Yeah. When she pops her nose out, there's one other scene in a movie that would work for this if she still had comms back to the Galactica.
Look at those.
How many are out there? All of them.
Yeah.
To steal from Terminator 2.
Yeah, exactly.
How many cops are there?
So we have at least 2, there's 2 base ships that she can see and gazillions of Cylon raiders. I can't hear you, Nanny.
Are they cloaked or are they just dark? Because I didn't notice
they're just dark.
Before.
It's just dark.
Yeah, they're just
looking
dark.
through the nebula. That's why.
Okay.
But yeah, that is just a crazy shot right there.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
because oh god, yeah.
She's just realizing they are so screwed.
Yeah.
There is nothing they can do. And so
Kronos, I know it was 20 years ago, but this is my first watch. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Show a little grace.
So she does report back to them that, they're kind of effed. And they come up with the plan of plotting a jump from the perimeter of the nebula and having the Galactica basically, push out and launch its Vipers, do everything it can to engage the Cylons, and just keep the Cylons off of the civilian ships long enough for the civilian ships to jump. And as soon as the last civilian ship jumps, then the Galactica has the Vipers land, Galactica jumps away. That's the entirety of their battle plan. Mm-hmm. Very, very simple. By the way, Ebony's response is LOL, okay. As I told her to call you soon.
Okay.
And so that's a very and by the way, one thing I do like about the battle plans in Galactica is that they are realistic. They tend to be fairly simple, and then when we see them executed, you can follow along to what's happening. It's not like, and I'm sorry, Deep Space Nine, I love you, but Sacrifice of Angels, where you just see ships flying around.
Yeah.
That you can follow what's going on in these battles. And so here we have the colonial fleet making their way towards the edge of the nebula. And Galactica launching all of its Vipers straight at the Cylons. And how would you like to be one of these Viper pilots? You're taking on, the Cylons who just wiped out all of humanity except for what's right behind you.
I mean,
and
there are two types of people. There's me, who's like, hell no. And there's others who'd be like, hell yeah. I mean, that's really it.
Oh, yeah, of course. The music in the show is also incredibly good.
I love, like, it's got like an Irish Gaelic sailor type.
Right. They purposely didn't want to do the Star Wars thing. So, which, I thought that was...
No, I think it works really good. And they punch it up sometimes, man, and it just it just pulls at the old heartstring.
Yeah, they do. It's what do they call Julian pipes in some of the bigger ones, and
whoever did this score did a really good job of tying the music to beats with
yeah.
I really actually like that a lot.
And then so they're of course, Starbuck is having a blast. Meanwhile, Galactica's taking a lot of damage. And here's your favorite part right here. So Apollo's Viper has a wing taken out, and and all the Vipers are trying to
effed up bad.
Yeah, and his Viper's basically out of commission. Everybody else has landed except for Starbuck. And Starbuck has been ordered to land, and Apollo's like, just go. And Starbuck's like, heck no, I'm not going without you. And she's like, and Apollo's like, no, what do you think you're doing? And Starbuck's like, yep, we're just gonna we're just going to lock our Vipers together.
They scissored.
And Brian asks, Galactica is a museum place that got activated. Is that realistic? Can the U.S. Navy take an old ship and do the same thing? Okay, so here's the interesting thing. So, yeah, they do actually, the U.S. Navy does actually have formerly active warships that are turned into museums. And here's the fun thing about the Galactica. The Galactica was not completely converted yet. Only one of the landing bays was converted. The other one was still active duty. And so Adama was actually about to preside over the decommissioning ceremony of the ship. And so the fact that, so that's why they were able to take those Vipers, those Vipers that were in the museum wouldn't have been able to fly if it wasn't for the fact that the other pylon had all the munitions and fuel and everything that they needed.
Yeah, and bits and pieces.
Yeah. So under normal circumstances, I would say no.
Pause.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, that was a acclaimed reference from AEW. Scissor me, daddy. Yeah.
Wow, you just can't not be disgusting. All right, so
what do you mean? No, like it's a thing.
No, it is actually yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at this. So they're coming in to try. They got missiles and gunfire everywhere, and Starbucks.
No, this is what I'm talking about. Like Starbucks, freaking boss, man. Like, geez, Louise.
But this is Starbuck being Starbuck from the original series. That's why I'm saying that.
Well, certain aspects of it, because there's a big chunk of this personality.
Well, Starbuck was a hotshot pilot. I'm talking about skill set.
Yeah. The skill set aspect doesn't change. Some of the way that her character is portrayed coming up very, very soon changes somewhat. but the fundamental core is still there.
Right. However, her skill set after the next episode changes, and in a good way, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then there's Galactica retracting the landing pods, which I think is a cool thing. The idea that the landing pods have to retract for it to jump. And which means, and then, okay, so here's how close it is. And I mean, look at that. You see the landing pod is retracting while Starbuck is trying to land.
Yeah.
And Apollo's like looking back like, oh no, that is not that's not what.
And they actually praying against that plate here, you'll see.
Yeah. We're gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
Bam. And yeah, she clanks against the edge of the thing. Yeah. And then they're like bam, scraping against the landing bay.
Yeah.
And
then they just
and they're like, okay, she's on board. Right?
Yeah. And it's like, all right, go.
Well, really, I got a question. It seems like when they say jump, because you actually play it real quick, because it's like it's there and then poof, it's gone.
Yeah,
right?
it's
like,
instant travel.
Okay, so you see the light go across the ship, and then bam, space folds.
So that's what they're doing, right? They're doing the wormhole. Like,
hold on a second, Mike.
Yeah, they're doing the full-on space fold thing.
Yeah, it's a space fold, same kind of travel as they do in Dune.
Okay.
And so, the ship is not moving. They bend space around the ship.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's why, basically, that's why, like, Vipers can't do it, but Raptors can. But Raptors are meant for reconnaissance, so.
No, Thomas Potts, I think we have about 15 minutes of the episode left. Yeah, it is like Event Horizon. That's exactly how they explain it in Event Horizon.
Yeah, Event Horizon, except they don't go through hell. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, there's no crazy torture porn going on.
Yeah.
And Tom, what was it I asked? I said I hope Thomas is here for.
Oh, Matthew Bennett.
Yeah, Thomas. Matthew Bennett is in the show. Did you know that? Did you see when I mentioned that? I hope you did. And so then we get everybody's favorite shot of the entire fleet that has our Easter egg with the Enterprise
hiding in the corner.
Boom! Look at that.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, by the way, when we were watching Bastille yesterday,
they
actually do reuse this footage, and it's still there.
Is it? Okay. I didn't notice that.
Dude, no, see, I was at when you screenshot.
Because I know they reused this shot a few times.
I tweeted this, and I got plenty of feedback where people were like, I knew about Fire or the Serenity. I didn't know about the Enterprise.
Yeah.
I'm like, right.
Yeah, I didn't know about the Enterprise either. Thank you to Thomas for
that tweet did catch fire a little bit there. Yeah.
Okay, so Thomas, just so you know, Doral, the public relations officer that was on the Galactica that gets busted as a Cylon, is actually played by actor Matthew Bennett. Look it up on IMDb. That no joke. So Matthew Bennett is in fact a Cylon. So we can confirm that.
Spoilers. Now I got to Google this.
Yeah.
You just said Matthew Bennett is a Cylon. So you're saying Lee Adama is a Cylon?
No, Doral. The public relations guy.
the Doral Cylon.
Yeah, he is a Cylon. I already knew that.
Yeah. You already knew he was a Cylon. I wouldn't drop a spoiler like that. Next, you're gonna, it's like when it would be like me telling you the Commander Adama is a Cylon, which I mean,
wow, we're all the way up to 26 votes.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Jason and the Argonauts is holding out by just a couple odd percent.
Oh, really?
You're really rooting for that one, aren't you? So then,
I did not actually vote for that one, but it's gonna be. It
what's funny? Like I'm gonna be honest. That's the one I voted for.
I like that one. I gotta admit,
it's good. It's good.
So here we have the.
But damn, Salty and how did you know it was gonna come down to? Oh nope, Salty and the Nuts just took a lead. Keeps changing. We got more votes.
Yeah, it went to 29 votes now. So yeah,
it's like 29. Oh shit. Oh
Yeah,
man, now it's salty in the nuts.
I know, Martin. I just told him that Adama's a Cylon, but we'll see if he picks up on that. So, man, nobody's gonna. No, we need somebody to vote for Jason and the Argonauts. Come on. I want that one. Of course, I haven't voted yet. So
well, you haven't voted yet. Is
because he
Adama
can't from his
Cylon?
channel. Yeah. No.
yeah,
He's
well,
just messing.
he is, but anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, so this is the Adama version of a Picard speech, which is basically we're all gonna die, but we're gonna try.
It's really
it's
really beat up, man. Like I was saying in our stream or whatever, the Patreon thing. He's not my kind of speech giver. Like he starts out super negative, peak levels of anxiety. Oh, we're all gonna die, and then it's
it's like
his inspiration at the end. It's like doesn't even have to be that great because he's torn you down so much that like anything at the end, it's just like a cherry.
It's like he went to the R. Lee Ermey school of motivational speech.
Yeah. It's like, this dude does not motivate me whatsoever. But you also said the other day, Salty, that
he's a military man.
Yeah.
He definitely gives military speeches, not civilian speeches. And so I could see why his speech would definitely motivate a soldier, but not motivate a civilian. And
I'll
so
be honest with you. I'm surprised Salty in the Nuts is doing as well.
Man, it's up to 39% versus 35.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, somebody. You guys got to vote for Jason and the Argonauts. That is just too clever of a name. Granted, it would be weird to have a show that's not named after the owner of the channel, but that's okay. I don't have that big an ego.
Now, if Salty and the Nuts wins, you know what you got to do for the background picture, Danny, is you got to change the life bars to a series of peanuts on the life bars.
Yeah.
The problem is if it's Salty and the Nuts, then I would have to be in the middle.
Yeah.
See, that's why it should be Jason and the Argonauts because Jason's in the middle.
In the middle. Hey, that would make my life easier. But I actually do think you'd make a good like Scotty mashup, Mike. Like you kind of have like,
yeah. Oh, I am. Yeah.
I had a wee bout.
By the way,
wee bout of what? Shore leave. Oh.
I gotta say, there are some things that I do love, and right here, Canon is marking because she's working on the weapons. Canon, do not stand in front of cannons. It actually says that on the side of the ship there. Now, you might think that sounds stupid, but remember the Claymore mine, one of the most deadly weapons that the United States Army uses to this day, says on it, front towards enemy.
Towards enemy.
Yes. So I do
Front
love the fact.
enemy.
Yeah, so I do appreciate the fact that this would probably be on their ships. Remember, do not stand in front of the giant gun.
Right. Yeah. Stanley says this way forward.
Yes. And there's we get a little glimpse of Ty kind of dealing with his alcoholism, and when I say dealing with, it's one of those things because he knows he has a drinking issue, but he also knows that there are no more breweries, there are no more distilleries. Right. This what he's got in that bottle is pretty much what he's got.
He can't go to the gift shop and buy an overpriced bottle of liquor. That's all he's got,
Yeah, and I got to say, at first when I heard they were making Ty an alcoholic, I was like, really, you're just gonna try and crap all over all the characters? Because Ty in the original was an upstanding, perfect XO kind of thing, but then again. a problem with the original series was a problem with a lot of shows in the 70s. Everybody was perfect.
Mm.
You know, and in this show,
He's got
people felt like
clearly
people.
wasn't this episode, because when he was measuring out the fingers, there was like half.
Yeah, this has a lot more booze in it. He probably
Yeah.
drank a bit. You know,
Yeah.
I think he had a little bit of a bender after. You know, and so yeah, let's see. Canon. I can't quite read what the lower part says. Canon. Something to be something
Before accessing something panel.
Alexander, I don't say Baltar is my idol, but man, I do envy him for getting up in them guts. Man, Trisha is so.
Baltar is your idol, and that's why you are in trouble right now. And there's the shot that kind of, you know, fills you in on a lot about Starbucks' relationship. Because you see her and Zach embracing, and Lee right there with them. And so you realize that the three of them were close.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, I was like, oh, damn. And then I saw this, and I was like, oh, man. Like, because you can't be too mad, because, like, she was either his fiance or wife or something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You know, Stan, I always wondered that myself. Ronald D. Moore's hair looks just like Baltar's. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not.
Well, no, I think it's a coincidence, because the actor had the same hair when he played Picard's father, like a couple years ago.
He's had the same hair in a couple other things I've seen him in too. Yeah. So
and by the way, this is also an interesting. You mentioned that. Zach looks more ethnic. That's actually an interesting thing, because in another episode, it's mentioned that Zach looks like his father, while Lee looks like mom.
Yeah,
or the milkman's baby, as I have said in one of our.
Yeah, your initial assertion with the rather different appearance of Edward and Jamie. Yeah.
But yeah, this, and so you think about now, she's sitting there looking at this picture, and you realize, okay, she had more than just friendship with Zach, and she is the reason Zach is dead. Yeah. That's brutal.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
So you realize that she's not just, you know, when she told him, that didn't just hurt him, it really hurt her too.
Yeah.
And of course, we find out just how much in the future when we realize how deep their relationship really was.
Yeah.
But you know, spoiler alert, they were engaged. And
yeah, I mean, something.
Yeah. And this is where somebody slips Commander Adama a note. Yeah. There are only 12 Cylon models now. It's obvious.
I can't be like, oh, guys, who do you think it was? Because you already know. So it's like,
there's only one person that's not a Cylon that knows, that presumably is not a Cylon, I should say, that knows how many models there are. And that, of course, is Baltar.
So Baltar's not a Cylon? Because, like...
Well, you know, presumably.
All right.
We don't know.
No, you spoiled it. It's fine. All right. So we're almost...
we don't know.
We're almost to the end. We actually
this is basically...
We might clock in at under 4 hours. We might. I mean, we're getting dangerously close.
We're basically at the end at this point.
Mike.
Just a second.
Okay. We're live.
I know.
We're on the air.
I know, but I have an important text. Anyway, and we are at the end, but that was an important.
This is Sweet Nothings from Canada.
That's just weird. Anyway, also, I forgot to mention during his inspirational speech,
in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Anyway, he does mention the Earth bite there in the speech that he knows. That
phone's got to go on mute.
No, well, that's the same guy. Just so you know, there's a couple of guys from our church coming over tomorrow. They dropped off some lumber today to build a wheelchair ramp on the front of our house.
Okay, cool.
And so he needs to talk to me, and I told him that I'm doing a live show, but I'll talk to him as soon as we're done. But anyway,
You getting those passive aggressive texts from people who are like, "I thought you told me you were going to be done an hour and a half ago." I was like, "Whoa,
no.
Shit happened.
We talked this morning. I didn't know he needed to talk, so maybe they had to change the plans or something. But anyway, the 12 Cylon models, the Earth is mentioned that they're got to look for this lost 13th tribe of humanity that supposedly lives on a mythological planet called Earth. And so Adama's like, okay, we're gonna go on a quest for this planet that only high-ranking commanders know about, and that's the Earth. But he also now knows that there's only 12 models of Cylons. Then the big reveal at the end is that
this guy
Doral, played by Matthew Bennett, is in fact a Cylon, and the other Cylons show up to get him. Of course, Danny, stop drooling. Okay, just stop. It's okay. I know you like her, but you need to stop. That's why you're in trouble. You understand?
He'll survive. He'll make it.
I don't know. I think Cece's pretty mad at him.
He's mute. Were you muted, or are you just quiet?
Yeah.
No, I'm here. I'm just quiet.
And I agree, Thomas. Danny's going to need a lot of Kleenex when the series ends. Like when certain people die and stuff.
Oh man! Hey, spoilers! Don't say anything. Jesus.
I didn't say who. I said certain people. Anyway, so the camera pans through the Cylons, and they're like, "Haha! Look, it's Boomer. Boomer is in fact,
yeah,
a Cylon."
yeah.
Which was a great way to tease for a series. Because remember, at this point, there was no guarantee there would ever be a series.
Yeah. No, this is like, damn it, man. The hot Asian chick banging the dude. Like, they were terrible at lying. It's like, hey,
right,
we're gonna go fight in the mop closet. No, you're not. You're going to go bang.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. But let's see. So does every 6, do they share the same memories? We can't.
Too.
Yeah. So we'll get into that in a future episode. I don't want to give spoilers. For a ship to make a jump, does it have to know the final location, or can the ship just go and stop whenever it wishes? It's an instantaneous jump, so you can't it's not like hyperspace where you can jump and then hit the stop button. You have to enter in coordinates to where you are going.
So, to answer your question simply, yes.
Yeah.
Mike, try that.
Just
say yes. Let's have a little social experiment here.
So
even though you can't see my face. No, seriously. I want to ask you two a question. Okay. I just need an answer. Both of you, please. Do you know what time it is?
10:43.
8:43 and 6:43, depending on who you're talking to.
So I asked you a yes or no question. Did you notice how you didn't say yes or no? I said, do you know what time it is?
You always tend to give more information.
And you're supposed to say yes or no.
That's like that whole, you see the word spelled green, but the color of the letters is red, and then
I'm not accepting that Salty and the Nuts is the winning one. So
I don't know. Hey man, the people have spoken. Salty, even with your vote, you don't catch it. So
let's see how many.
Put it on Twitter. We got.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
So Salty and the Nuts finished with 37%. Jason and the Argue Nuts with 34%. Retro Spectacle with 25%, and First Spectacle with 3%. Now, what I can do though is because I
put this on Twitter,
is that we should redo the poll with just Salty and the Nuts and Jason and the Argue Nuts.
Okay.
And see how the other people would.
I'm down. I'm down. So what you're saying is, I need to strap
no,
in for another hour.
No. We'll wrap it up here.
You guys
Salty
can
in the
do that
nuts.
on Wednesday or Thursday next week or something.
No, I'm fine with salty in the nuts, but that means you're going to have to come up with some new artwork,
I know.
And so salty in the nuts. Yeah, it's within the margin of error. Therefore, Jason the Argonauts wins. I just did a manual recount, and it turns out that there were some hanging chads that changed the vote. Courtesy of Indie Tiger. Anyway, so Salty in the Nuts will be the name of these shows about old shows.
I guess that means I got to get to work.
Or maybe we should just change Nerdfights to Salty in the Nuts.
Yeah, but I'm still going to have to put you in the middle. So, right?
Or like Nerdfights featuring Salty in the Nuts. Or just Salty in the Nuts. What do you think?
Probably just Salty in the Nuts, because it's likely going to be much less of a nerd fight, especially we know with this show. Because,
right.
Because everybody gives this show a 10 every time.
Yes. So there you go. So quick. We're going to do a quick, basically retrospective, I guess, on what you thought of this episode. I'll just say this. Kind of like when I started it, I think that the miniseries was solid. When it was done, I wanted to see a series. I was frustrated that I had to wait 10 months for a series, but when it happened, I was very glad. And I'm also thrilled to say that to this day, while the miniseries is really good, it's the worst of the Battlestar Galactica revival, which means that it's very solid. But as a whole, as far as out of 10, it's really hard to give an episode out of 10 when it's a serialized show. But I would say,
then hold up. To be fair, this was the end of the miniseries. So
I would say the miniseries out of 10, I would probably give a solid 8, because while I think it had some pacing issues, I think that Starbuck as a character had some issues. And there were just a couple of little minor things that I didn't like, but solid entertainment, really good story. And the ending left you satisfied with what you got, but really wanting more, which is what you should do with the ending of anything. And so it achieved everything it needed to do, but it was not perfection. So an 8 out of 10, I think, is a fair score for what we got. So Jason.
Pretty much, I could just say ditto. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. It was an 8 out of 10 when I first saw it. Mostly, of course, because I was still adapting. Even though I liked it, I was still adapting to the change. And after the fact, having seen the entire series as well as the TV or the direct to DVD or TV event movies that are in it. It sounds funny, but it's the worst of the best. It's an excellent show, but it's the lowest bar, which is a good place to be considering how good it was. So,
all right.
So
Danny.
ABJ, well, hold up, ABJ in the chat. I kind of think it's both, don't you guys?
Yeah, if they had not gotten a nod for a series, they could have functionally left this off where it was for one particularly big good reason, and that was where they were obviously trying to tap into the original audience of the 70s Battlestar. Everyone that would have watched it for the most part would have known.
Which apparently my father wasn't a fan of, which is my mother's excuse for not exposing me to the original series.
So yeah, they could have. It could have stood on its own, but it's what?
Yeah, I'm just being weird.
That was
whoa. What's with the?
What do you do?
This infinity thing. Oh
okay,
wow!
I know. I'm getting.
Now we're.
tired.
Oh wow! This is like Doctor Strange too.
I can't do that.
Oh my God!
There we go. That's better.
So all right. So
back to Danny.
Yeah. So Danny.
Look. Wow. So I'm going to give it a 9 just because I haven't seen everything else and I want to kind of hold my 10 for something. But I really effing digged. And maybe I'm a little biased because I actually, I enjoyed how, we watched it together and the conversations that we had and everything. It just was like, if that was all the Battlestar Galactica I got, I would have been like, I'd have felt like, oh, that's a good meal. I took that in. But now that I know that like I'm going to get to sustain off of this for a while, it's like, sure, like, Baskin Robbins got 31 flavors. Ice cream is good. I'll try some different ice cream every day for a while. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, 9. I'll give it a 9.
Excellent. So there we go.
Cool.
So our
Yeah.
final score would be 8.33.
Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, no, so I think we all agree it was a really solid beginning to Battlestar.
Better than any beginning of any Star Trek show. I mean, I hate to say that.
Oh man, that's the real comedy. Yeah, like if you compare this to Farpoint in particular,
to compare it to shows in general, as just a pilot episode of a show, this show definitely begins much stronger than almost anything I can think of.
Yeah.
And so because even great shows, like I know how much you love The Expanse, but as great as The Expanse is, it does not start with a bang, right? The Expanse.
No, the biggest problem with The Expanse is the slow burn because of the fact it's built off.
You got it.
Yes.
With The Expanse, you got to get through the first season.
But
you really got to get through the first season before you're really invested in that show.
Yeah.
And with this one though, you are heavily invested by the end of the first half.
I can't believe
of the miniseries.
It's been out this long, and I'm such a sci-fi nut that I am. And I do need I think my mom already left, so she doesn't get to hear me complain, but I blame her. I can't believe I hadn't seen this before now. It's so good. You know what I mean? I feel robbed. I feel like I should have got to see this 20 years ago. You know what I mean? It's like, So, no, I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
And now someone wants me to put in a poll to the chat to what the score should be. Wow. Brian says, hey, Salty, what's your favorite connection, IG specific character, jargon, tech between the original series and the new BSG series? Honestly, I think just the fact that as far as a connection from TOS to the reimagined series, I would probably have to say the Viper Mark II. First of all, the fact that the Viper Mark II does not look exactly like the Viper from the original series, but if you look carefully in that scene in the museum, you see the Viper from the original series because that's the Viper Mark I. The Mark II is a more advanced version of the Viper from the original Battlestar Galactica. And the Viper Mark II we see throughout this show. So I love the fact that it's a member berry without being a member berry because it's not identical to the original, but we get it throughout the series. And it's a reminder that this is an homage to a classic show.
Yeah, and the fact that they were able to tastefully change what the Battlestars look like.
Yeah,
I was quite impressed with that. They still maintain the fundamental form. So as Danny saw from the original series model that you'd held up the other day, that it's got the two pontoons that are the big aircraft carrier bits, and then the huge superstructure down the center that runs everything else. That theme, in the same way that Star Trek has the two nacelles and the primary and secondary hull, like they did a good job maintaining that. And that probably came from the fact that Ronald D. Moore was looking at this and running the show and saying, look, we want to do a lot of the ship styles the same because it fits the motif, but we don't want it to just be a rubber stamp copy and paste. And
all right, so there you go. Just for you, I put the poll in there. However, I could only put 4 options, so you can only vote 7, 8, 9, or 10. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you were going to vote less than this,
if you thought it sucked, vote 7. If the 7s win, then I'll go, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Well, I need to go figure out.
Yeah, I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I know. It's been almost 4 hours. So we're
Yeah.
only going to give it a few seconds here. So you got like 30 seconds to vote. Then we got to wrap it up. 9 has got 50%. So 9's doing well here. How many people have voted? Because I can't. It's a weird thing is even though
It says
I'm
10 votes.
Yeah.
10 people have voted. All right. Well, come on. 23 people in the chat. Let's get some votes in. Come on. Vote. What are we up to?
Still 10.
Still 10? You're going to vote, guys?
Fence sitters.
If you're going to vote now. Vote now, vote often. That's the American promise.
Yes.
Vote early and vote often.
Yeah. That's what Fox News says, right? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
They got in trouble for that.
Oh, 12 votes, 42%
up to 12 votes?
for
There we
9.
go. All right. Okay. I think 12's good. That's a good sample.
Yeah, I think we're calling it 9.
All right, so we'll end the poll. So 9s have it.
9. There we go.
8 and 10 tied for second, and 7 with a distant fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah, and that makes sense to me. 10 and 8, both being like outliers from 9 makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So with that, remember, you are the salt of the earth. Crazy Canadian, absolutely nutty Las Vegian, who needs to get the heck out of Las Vegas. That's just, I mean, forget about finding a cheap apartment in Las Vegas. Just get out of Vegas. Do you not hear me? Get out of Vegas.
Oh, I do. I thought that would have been a great way to end the show. Just get out of Vegas. Clip.
No, I'm telling you. Here's what we need to do.
Yeah, I hear Dork Knight calls me Sleepy Joe. Well, Dork Knight, let me tell you, I'm going to drag your sorry ass back to Scranton and put you to sleep, motherfucker.